Good Tuesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. I'm trying to sound more and more dramatic saying that. And also, folks, he woke up today and wondered where his life has been because Indiana, blowout win against Alabama, due 23.9 million viewers. Most watched college football game in the 12-team era. Indiana, folks. He's questioning his life choices. Dale Hellister, everybody.
Long live Curt Cignetti. Long live Curt Cignetti. How you doing, Steve?
And when I say this, I'm not trying to be funny. I legitimately can't think of his name, but basketball coach who?
Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. There we go. Bobby Knight. Yeah, like he was, even today you say Indiana and you think Bobby Knight.
Except for you.
Except for now. Yeah, apparently. That's my point. Cignetti made me forget all about him. All about him, Dale. I'm doing good today. Second day back of 2026.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell the population's coming back and the work is happening as the traffic starts to thicken.
Yeah, it does. It's a little trying out there. How was your Monday? Your first day back working again? Your Monday was there. You left here. How was your Monday?
Went back doing a little rehab on my midsection core, walking strength, whatever. So did that and just hung out in the afternoon. Watched a little Kevin Durant last night. And,
did you catch the end of that FCS championship game?
I did not get to see that, but
it was both ugly. It was exciting and ugly. They couldn't kick an extra point to save their lives or a field goal.
Was it cold?
Not as cold as you'd think it'd be. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, man. There's not snow everywhere. I like watching that.
While you're sitting,
yeah, in my house, going, it's a little. I got to turn on the heater in here. I got to turn on the air conditioner. It's a little warm up here upstairs. So it was good as well and everything. Yeah, yesterday was an interesting day for me, Dale. I got my daughter's going to kill me for telling this story.
Oh.
So she had to get some blood work done yesterday. It was her first time getting blood work done. She's 15 and everything. And so we go in there, and she's just worked herself up. Like, I don't want to do this. It's going to hurt. And I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And this nice old lady comes out who can barely move, Dale, which is fine. It's pertinent to the story is my point. That's why I'm telling you guys this. That old lady. Been drawing blood for 30 years, she says. And she's like, I'll make you feel better. And, it'll feel fine. I'll explain the whole process. And as she's explaining it to her, I could just see Ireland getting more and more, like, amped up. Like, oh, my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Well, Ireland's last words before she passed out were, I just want to go home. And then I'm lightheaded. And then, boom, out.
Real.
And this lady could not move. And then Ireland starts fighting. You know how when you get knocked out, sometimes your body so then she starts fighting, right? Like trying to move the thing off her arm. So she's trying to hold her arm and she's not. So I'm like, do you need help? So I walk, and in my mind, I'm like, do you need help? And I walk over, but I was probably like, do you need help, lady? Yeah. Flipping out about it or whatever. So then I'm like, holding her. But when people are unconscious and they do things she opens her eyes and she's just looking at me. And I'm like, hey, you all right? You just breathe. And the lady's trying to get the vial out. She got one of them and everything. And Ireland's just looking at me. She's going, what? What? And I'm like, just breathe. You're all good. You awake? You feeling all right? And she's just like, what? And at the fourth what, I was like, oh, she's not still conscious of what's happening right now. So this lady waddles out of the room. And as somebody else comes running in, like, oh my God, did it not go well? And I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, how would that have been handled if I wasn't calm and cool and collected in that moment? You could start freaking out because it's startling when somebody just passes out, man.
Yeah,
it's not the easy thing. But that was my day yesterday.
Okay.
So I got home and I was kind of I wasn't upset about it or nothing, but I just in my mind being like, what the heck just happened?
I don't mind getting my blood drawn. I have a hard time watching other people and other people's blood. And
there's blood all over the room too.
As soon as you started telling that story, I distinctly remember we had to take Hillary when she was I don't know, almost a year old to get a blood test, and there's the older nurse and Brooks up in her face, comforting her, and they give him shots in the legs.
Yeah, back then.
And so I'm holding down her legs, and bam! As soon as the needle hit, her legs buckled.
Yes.
The needle actually
Oh.
bent while it was in there.
Oh.
They got it out, and then the nurse goes, "I got to go out and have a cigarette." I've never had that happen before.
The best part was when we leave. So then they're like, she's just sitting there, and they gave her water and all of that stuff and everything. And she's coming to. And like, even when we were walking out, I was like, all right, I got to be close to her in case she goes down.
Yeah.
Again. And so we walk out. And like, we're the last appointment of the day. Like, the lights are all off in the waiting room. And I'm like, oh, this is this lady's last experience.
Really?
As we're walking out of here. On top of it. So we get in the car and we're driving home. And I'm like, hey, what do you want to stop? You got to stop and get him something, So we stopped at Black Rock. And she just looks at me and she goes, I have to go back? And I was like, oh. So they're telling me they have a place you can lay down, like, to get it done. Because I guess sitting up can be harsher for you and stuff like that. Because I'm just like, how do we stop this from happening next time? So that was my startling day yesterday.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about it afterwards, like, if she was the only one in the room, because like she started like kicking and like fighting, kind of a little bit to get the thing out of her arm.
Right.
Like if I wasn't there, what would happen? There's blood all over the room, like on the table. What do you do in that situation?
You got to call the hazmat team to come in and clean it
like
up.
I'm pointing it out, like we're sitting there just letting her relax or whatever, and I'm talking to the other lady, and she's like, "Well, we got a room. They can lay down in there. It's easier if you lay down and everything, and then that way, it can be more comfortable. And just you work yourself up into whatever." And I was just like, you don't eat right, and she didn't have to fast for it, so it wasn't that. But I'm just sitting there like, if I wasn't in this room, what the heck would have happened? Because she's a nice old lady. She just wasn't strong enough and able to move around enough to like secure the position.
Right.
And I'm just like, how does this even happen? How does it even happen? So that was my first official day of 2026, Dale.
Yeah, I would always tell them, if you feel weird, lay down.
Oh, it hit quick.
Yeah.
She literally was just sitting there, and I was joking around. I was like, hey, just look away. You won't even know it. You won't even know that they, you'll feel the prick. You won't even know anything after that. And she put her hands in her head like this, and then all you hear is, I feel faint, and then she was gone. Like, it happened quick. Like, where even I was like, whoa, what just happened? Like, that was fast. I remember one time when I was a kid, same place, ironically enough. I walked out of that place when I was younger, probably late teens. I walked out of the place, and I remember looking at my mom and going, I don't feel right. And then next thing I know, my mom's like standing over me, and I'm like on the floor. I'm on the ground outside.
Really?
Same thing, yeah. But that was afterwards. Because I had you have to fast for whatever and all that stuff. But I remember that happened to me one time. But that happened afterwards, walking out. But yeah, so that was my Monday. Good news.
Did she wake up this morning?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. She's at her mom's.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I got the notification she was at school, so she's up and moving around.
Okay.
And she was fine. She was fine after that. Obviously she was traumatized. She's like, I thought it was the end. I thought it was the end of me. I was like, all right, dramatic, settle down. Relax a little bit. So then last night I'm just sitting around, just like that's traumatizing. That's traumatizing to people, man. Wasn't the last thing you expected to happen? Good news is, though, I got it, folks. It's down. Did you drive by? Did you see what you drove by today? By the way, down in the parking lot.
I noticed that your electric truck hasn't been around.
No, well, that's in the shop still. They say 10 days to get that fixed and everything. Yes.
Oh, that's right, because it was
somebody
damaged. Okay.
So that's in the shop, 10 days. But my white car's down there today.
It looks all bright and shiny, like it's almost brand new.
Brand new. The only problem is they couldn't get whatever they ate and drank when they stole the thing, stained the passenger seat a lot. But other than that, the car looks brand new. I might not even trade it in now. I might not even sell it now.
Yeah.
Still got 165,000 miles on it, so it's got to get rid of it. But I got that back yesterday. No problems. Everything went smooth.
You want to give a shout out to whoever did the car work?
Classic Collision Chandler. Go there.
Talk to.
They even Justin Kennedy's the front office lady. Avoid Queen Creek. Joe's still a douche. Joe's still. So now I just need to get my Blazer back before I start my unleashing of blasting that company all over the place. I'm being nice until I get my car back, my other car back.
Yeah, but you say that.
Well, Chandler, I'm going to recommend Chandler left and right to everybody.
Okay.
But I also recommended Queen Creek a lot too.
Oh.
Until that went down.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm going after Queen Creek still. I haven't let it go.
Smoking Joe, huh?
Well, you don't rip people off. Get away with it. I have a voice and I have the ability to inform people of the rip-off ability of that place, and I'm going to be vocal about it, as we move forward. But Chandler, perfect. They even did what they did because I told you guys this story. I got ripped off. They told me to take the car to Santan Ford or to a Ford place. I had chose Santan Ford to get a mechanical because we don't do that. Turns out they do that. So I was out $200. My insurance company denied it. They're also denying because they're trying to push it through to the insurance company. I can tell you the insurance company keeps denying it to them.
Okay.
So what he said was, I'll just take $200 off of your deductible. So I went in yesterday and I gave him the check that I had from the insurance company that Pam at the other place had the insurance company send to me for some reason. Probably part of their rip-off techniques, that they're trying to do. And then, so I go in there and I had to pay my $500 deductible, and I didn't say anything at all. I was just like, I'm just going to pay it. If I don't get my $200 back, then, this place isn't the place I thought it was. Don't say anything, pay my $500. And she goes, all right, so now we got to credit you back $200 for our internal processes and stuff like that. So they brought it up. I didn't check my bank account to see if they credited me back yet, though. So I'll have to check that out.
Okay.
But they brought it up to me. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I should log in and check it. See if I got $200 back and all that. So we'll see, Dale. But I got the white car finally done.
It looked too new for what you described it.
Oh, well, they had to redo the whole outside. I think the only thing they didn't fix was the driver's side door. There's still a slight ding in that.
Okay.
That was there before.
Right.
Other than that, the whole passenger side's redone, the whole front's redone, the whole back's redone. Yeah.
Look at you.
This has been such a hassle. I'll tell you this. I found out that the price that the car is totaled at. So if you don't know, your car has a price where they just total it instead of trying to fix it. And on this car, it's like $6,300. The original quote was like $5,200 to get it all fixed and everything, originally back in like July. They wanted to add a bunch of stuff to it. Classic Collision did because it needed other work that they didn't catch, when they take things apart and stuff. And the insurance company was fighting them and fighting them and fighting them. Tracking State Farm was fighting them and fighting them. And they couldn't figure out why. And then I saw the revised quote while I was out of town while they were working on it. And I went, well, that's why.
Yeah.
The price to fix this car was like $8,700. Like $2,000, $2,500 more than the total price was on it.
Right.
So I don't feel bad for State Farm because when I first happened, I was like, you guys aren't going to just total this? And they're like, no, it's well underneath our number. And that doesn't include the $2,000 in towing fees and everything that's happened with this car and everything. Yeah, so State Farm, taking it in the shorts on this thing. On top of it. It's so stupid.
Well, I'm happy that you have it back.
I have to drive it because I have to get a rental because my car's in the shop now, getting its back end fixed. So hopefully, hopefully that gets done. I saw the quote for that last week, so they started the process. They didn't have any updates for me yesterday because they have to order the parts in and all of that, And it was the holidays, so I don't know if they're in or not, but we'll see. We'll see when I get that back. Yeah. But so that happened yesterday too, Dale. Got the white car. The nightmare is over. White car is now officially mine. Got nobody to blame for it but me now moving forward.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing. Don't have to deal with the insurance company, at least for that aspect of it anymore. It's been a nightmare with this car since what, June? End of May, beginning of June? It's January 6th.
It has been a while, hasn't
January 6th, folks. I'm just nonsense.
it? Has been a while.
So that was my fun days yesterday. Pass it out. And now that. So, hey, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I have to do this. Can you close that door for me? I'm sorry, man. Appreciate it. Dale forgot to close the door today.
Yeah.
As I'm yelling at people in the hallway.
Hey, I got some good news that happened to me.
Give it to.
Well, I checked into my DraftKings account.
Oh, it's this.
Just to check, and I don't remember placing a bet on Louisiana Tech, Coastal Carolina.
Shut up. How much did you place?
I think that I was looking at when you had the bowl picks or something.
Yeah.
I think I hit a button
Just on accident.
because I went with all the favorites.
Coastal Carolina was a favorite in that game.
Well, I took Louisiana Tech for some reason.
Yeah.
and they ended up winning the game.
Yeah, they did. 23-14.
Yeah, and
I got it right here in front of me.
Yeah, and I only bet $10, but
That was the Independence Bowl.
Yeah,
Well, it tells you on there what the odds were.
Louisiana Tech. No, Louisiana Tech was the favorite.
Oh, they were the favorite. Okay, I thought Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, because they
was.
were minus 345. I only won I only won $14.
Okay,
but
you're making it sound like.
But I didn't realize that I even placed the bet.
Yeah, well, good. It's good.
I would never bet on Louisiana Tech and Coastal Carolina.
The Independence Bowl on December 30th of all things.
Especially when you say Coastal Carolina is not even on the coast.
It's about 45 minutes off the coast.
You've been mad at them ever since you found that out.
Well, it's because it's a fake name. It's a fake name. I expect to walk out of my dorm room and my feet in the sand. If you're calling yourself Coastal Carolina, I walk out of my English class and I'm seeing ocean.
I have my flip-flops on.
That's what I expect to see. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I've obviously got some cash too because my FanDuel account's up to $157.
Go ahead.
But it's all the NFL. It's all the NFL season, and we're about to win the Suns regular season. I have over 30.5. We're gonna win that here in the next month.
Hey.
Am I jinxing it?
Hey.
So I lost. I had Vikings under 8.5 wins. Stupid Vikings went on strong there at the end. I lost that one, but I had Jacksonville Jaguars winning the AFC South. That was plus 260 odds, and these are all $10. I do $10 bets for my season long stuff.
Okay.
So that was plus 260 on that one. Let me find my other big ones here. Of course, I had Broncos winning the division, thanks to Lou on that bet earlier this year. I won that one as well. I had Falcons winning that division. Womp, womp. Technically, though, they finished tied for first. Don't I get something for that? Not from FanDuel itself, but don't I get something for that? And then I lost Cardinals, their over number.
Yeah, I think that was over with what, in October?
So I won some of my yearly bets, and I also had the Cowboys one I lost to.
You took the Cowboys over?
I took the Cowboys under. And the Cowboys, breaking news right now, they fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Fourth different defensive coordinator in fourth season will be coming on board for the Cowboys. Talk about consistency. Now, part of that is head coaching change. So I don't know if you can really blame that. That obviously it's going to happen. But obviously when, who was the guy before? Mike, chubby guy from Green Bay.
Well, Dan Quinn got the head coaching job.
Well, he got a head coaching job, so you can't blame that, right? And then they got a new guy.
Mike Zimmer.
And then a coaching change happened.
Yeah.
And then obviously
Eberflus.
now Eberflus in there with them. So, but that's still, so it's not like they've just been running through. There's actually reasons for having defense, but that can't be good to set up. Because if a new guy comes in, I don't know what Eberflus runs, say he runs a 4-3. New guy wants to run a 3-4. That's a whole personnel change.
Right.
So you got to factor that stuff in. The defense has not been good all year. On top of it, a lot of people in Dallas blame the fact that Cowboys weren't more competitive strictly on the defense, which they were one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. So that's the easy way to go. But when you trade Micah Parsons, at the beginning of the year, Trey Diggs and the team just weren't getting along for most of the year on top of it. That sends ripples through the defense on top of things.
Well, first time in franchise history that they average giving up more than 30 points a game.
It was atrocious.
I mean, they when you score 40 offensively and it's a tie game
every week.
that
No less.
that kind of sucks. Now they had injuries too, but 30
but then they made the trade deadline. Those two trades. The big name trade, I'm forgetting their names right now.
Quinn Williams.
I did do he actually wasn't the big improvement. It was that linebacker kid.
Yeah.
That ended up being the stud in that defense and kind of shored up that defense.
Logan Wilson.
Wilson. It's amazing how the big name guy didn't even he made a contribution, don't get me wrong, but nothing like they thought it was going to be with the other kids. So, but Eberflus out. Maybe he can be a Cardinals defensive coordinator. Please
Yeah.
don't. He's okay. Eberflus. This is what amazes me. When he was in Kansas City, it was Kansas City, right? Wherever he was before he became the head coach of the Bears, young up-and-coming stud. This is the future of the NFL football in terms of coaching. Matt Eberflus. Bears, garbage head coaching experience. And everywhere he's been since, just see ya. He couldn't have been good before he got to the Bears as a head coach, right?
Well, I think he was good. Why else would you get a shot at a head coach if you didn't at least have a blip?
I just find it weird. Well, it could just be the team you're with, the head coach you're with, etc. But I find it weird that you're the young, hot, and up-and-coming stud when the Bears hire you, and then you can't keep a job after that. Everywhere you go, you're getting fired unceremoniously and things to that effect, and you're not having success there. That just doesn't that send an alarm up to you as well? Let's see. I'm looking right here. He was a defensive coordinator for the Colts from 2018 to 21 is where he was before he went to the Bears. Have the Colts ever been known as like the best defensive team? Usually it's their offense that leads them to everything. So I don't know. I just find it interesting. Then he was Bears head coach, and then of course Cowboys defensive coordinator now as well. So you don't lose it, do you? All I'm saying. I find it weird.
Well, and I think the Bears, until they got this coach, let's see here.
No, everybody fails with the Bears. That's the point. Even John Fox, who's one of the winningest coaches in NFL history, if you look at his record, has struggled with the Bears in terms of games coached and all of that stuff. But, so Bears, Cowboys are making a big move as well yesterday, or early this morning, I should say. 6 head coaching positions are officially available as of now. There's usually a surprise one that sneaks in there. Was Jonathan Gannon the surprise one, or is there going to be another surprise one coming up?
I don't think. Although the national media the last couple of weeks have been talking about Jonathan Gannon being safe.
Only reason Jonathan Gannon's a surprise is because the national media has been feeding us that he's safe.
It seems like it's more
everybody else was like
nationally than it is locally.
Well, that's the thing. They got me believing he wasn't going to fire him. And it's like everything was pointing to you have to fire this guy. And then you watched the press conference yesterday when Bruce Cooper gets in. We'll play the clips, but I got 3 clips that were interesting. Even Michael Bidwell. It comes down to wins and losses.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. That is what it comes down to.
Well, imagine being Michael Bidwell and you're sitting there going, okay, so the Bears were very average to below average last year.
Mm-hmm.
They make a coaching change. They're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Jacksonville, make a change this year. They're now whatever they are, 12-5 or
playoff bound,
13-4.
AFC South champions.
Peyton was hired the same time, I believe, or a year after.
I think it was a year after.
Yeah, a year after Jonathan.
And they were crippled with Russell Wilson debt.
And he still counted $35 million against their cap this year.
Yeah. Well, then you got Houston's head coach hired at the same time. 3 years of playoffs now on top of it. Interesting enough, Michael Bidwell mentioned that yesterday as well, which I was driving home and I was just like, what? The national narrative, this will be interesting. Because like I said, the Ian Rappaports, they're not up on Arizona Cardinals news. They're not sitting here going, this is what's going to happen. They're being fed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being fed from inside the team and the organization. Does this kind of change the relationship with those guys in the organization? That they were fed stuff. And the opposite happened out there. Kind of make them look kind of foolish. Now, they did keep a I think, don't forget Mike Vrabel in New England walked into a team that they were getting ready to get rid of their head coach.
Yep.
But Michael Bidwell mentioning that yesterday. He's flat out said people hired at the same time or after JG have had success and they're playing this weekend.
Yes.
And we are not. And that's unacceptable. So that tells you he's setting it up right now. Michael Bidwell is. The next head coach better win right away. Period. End of story.
Well, I've said it all year long since somebody pointed out to me the fact that there's been no coach that started his fourth year since 2000 without a playoff appearance.
They would have been fired in week 4 or week 5 next year. There was zero hope coming into this. You were just going to have a wasted season next year. But my big thing is anytime you need a quarterback, you need a new head coach to go along with it. Because it's only fair for a new head coach to pick his new quarterback.
Right.
And a lot of times, you hire a head coach that is familiar with certain quarterbacks around the league and has a relationship with them. You might get one of those good quarterbacks to come sign with you because of that on top of it. If you need a stopgap guy, coming up and stuff to that effect, right? So I'm still floored by this move yesterday. And then the press conference, I'll say this, we'll get into it with Bruce Cooper, but Michael Bidwell, except for his answer on the fans in the stadium, that was the stupidest thing you've ever said, Michael Bidwell. You are out of touch with the common person. Get out of your private plane. Get out of your home on top of Camelback Mountain and go to a grocery store, man. Go buy some potatoes. Go do common man things. Get out of the rah-rah room and go sit in normal seats on the upper level at the Suns games instead of being in the rah-rah room. You, sir, are out of touch. We're going to talk about that coming up. But he impressed me. He impressed me in that press conference. He seems like a guy, with all we say, that at least recognizes the NFL is about wins and losses. The NFL isn't just about, keeping your fans healthy, but it's also happy. It's also about competing in the NFL, not just on the field, other places as well, off the field. You have to compete with the NFL, other NFL owners and things to that effect. And he seems like a guy that's got that all in perspective. I was kind of shocked to see that yesterday.
Well, and you look at it, and a couple things jumped out to me. I've already seen a couple polls where the Cardinals' job ranks among the openings.
Yes.
It's usually one spot ahead of the Raiders.
They would be number 3 if the Jets became available. But they are the worst job in the NFL, in my opinion, on what's open right now.
Right.
And the Bears are just above them in my eyes. And the reason why the Bears are Bears have 2 young quarterbacks.
Not the Bears.
I'm sorry, the Browns. I apologize. The Browns. They have 2 young quarterbacks to give you some hope. You saw some hope from both Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as the season went on.
And it's Cleveland.
And, but that's why that probably bumps them down below Arizona. But in terms of on the field, Myles Garrett, that defense is good. You just got to figure out that offense, right, going into that game. So that's why I put Cleveland ahead of Arizona right now. Quarterback controversies and quarterback issues. It's tough, man.
Well, and then the mock drafts start coming out.
Number 3 draft pick. Who's I'm not going to look at a mock draft. Before it was offensive tackles when they were like 5th and 6th draft pick. What is it now?
Fernando Mendoza go number 1.
Of course. Well, yeah. The 2 teams ahead of you need quarterbacks.
Dante Moore, number 2 to the Jets.
Who's Dante Moore?
Quarterback, Oregon. And now you have to learn how to spell a name. Who's listed number or pronounce a name.
I'm sorry, man. You don't draft Jets. The Jets are going to Jets again and pick a quarterback that ain't going to work out in the pros.
Arizona Cardinals on the clock.
Yeah.
ESPN has them taking Francis.
Yeah, good luck.
Mauago.
Yeah.
Offensive tackle guard from Miami. I didn't realize this. You realize the Cardinals' offensive tackles finished last in run block rate.
Yeah, it wasn't even close, dude.
And gave up the 3rd most sacks in the league.
All the sacks came from the tackles this year, folks, if you don't know.
Wow.
Which is interesting. The outside pass rushing edge of the defense was generally kept at bay. It was the guys on the inside. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're an offensive lineman. You might be biased. Taking an offensive lineman at 3 when you have a lot of holes, I just don't know if that's the smartest thing to do, man.
No, that's, again, if the quarterback's not there or whatever, if there's not an impact player, well, then you trade down.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would trade down.
You trade down, try and get up another couple picks. And
like I said, it's not a knock on an offensive lineman.
No.
It's just an offensive lineman can shut down one person. So, yeah, Perry Johnson He's a left tackle, so he plays
Yeah.
he plays on Paris' side on top of it.
He'd move over to right tackle.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to
Yeah.
say that one of them would move. We know Paris can do it. He already did it early in his career. But okay, great. So your tackle position's shored up, but then you got the outside, and then if you have nobody to throw to, nobody to run the ball, it's a whole thing.
They have Jordan Tyson going 6 to the Browns.
To the Browns now.
Still top 10.
I've just been like Jordan Tyson's going to end up at the Giants. I've just always felt that. It's just they're just going to ride that Cam Scatterbo train of we need to get more Arizona State hype guys to get out there.
Jeremiah Love, Bruce's he's
Yeah.
fell in love with at 8.
Would you take a running back at 3? I wouldn't.
Again, I think you could move down to 5 or 6 and get those same guys.
Get them then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem. I'm not even sure you have 2 quarterbacks in this draft. Like Dante Moore does nothing for me.
Now, Mendoza, I like Mendoza.
So, but here's the thing. I think he's a development. I don't think he's a step in, and have a good rookie season type of a guy.
Well, let's see. Well, today is January 6th. We have February, March.
Yeah. There's going to be some quarterback that's not even in the draft
yeah.
boards right now. Jeff Sims will probably be the number one quarterback in that drafting here coming up.
After the combine and pro days. And
yeah. Funny stuff out there. I keep adjusting a little bit this Sam Levitt theory. Texas Tech chose a different quarterback.
Yep.
Sam Levitt is reportedly top 2 at least, but I've seen some people say 1, some people say top 2 quarterbacks in the portal, this year. He's being passed over by everybody. Now he's visiting LSU, so we'll see from there. But I think he's made a horrible decision, or he made a horrible decision last year that turned his team against him a little bit.
Or do you think his team is just asking for too much money?
Well, here's the thing. So I was doing some research on this last night when I was recovering from the shock that I ran into. They're getting the blood draw place. According to the New York Times, the cost of doing business in the portal, I'll tell you, the offensive tackles are $600 to $1.3 million. Hey, I saw your boy Cade announced officially he's going back to TCU.
Okay.
Got an extra year for him. Running backs $400,000 to $900,000. Wide receivers $500,000 to $1 million. Tight ends $300,000 to $900,000. Then look at this: edge rushers $500,000 to $2 million. Interior defensive linemen $500,000 to $1.5 million. Corners $250,000 to $1 million, and then safeties $250,000 to $900,000. Sam Levitt was making $2.5 million here at Arizona State. Says it's not the money why he's leaving. And if it's not the money, why is anybody signing him? Quarterbacks $1 to $4 million, and the rumor is he's been asking $5 million.
Oh, well then maybe it is money.
What else can it be? Well, unless it's injury concerns. You have to go past a physical. You have to talk to the doctors. Is he going to be healthy? Sam Levitt's had injury problems. Even the big run in the playoffs, he had injury problems that year with the way he runs and stuff to that effect. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I think he's made a horrible mistake. He's going to rue the day that this went down.
Unless he ends up at LSU and they end up challenging for an SEC title or whatever. But
you think they're going to do that in year 1 with Lane Kiffin?
I don't know. He's good. It's not like he's walking into Indiana.
You see, Indiana got Hoover to go there, which I'm not a big Hoover guy from TCU. He's a better than average quarterback, but he's not like top of the line. But I mean, hey, if you can win with Mendoza, you can win with Hoover, right?
Yeah, you would think. and again, guys who would never have looked at Indiana 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine? Like, you were at TCU. You wouldn't have looked at Indiana to save your life with the head coach at TCU coming off that national championship run that they had. You wouldn't even have paid attention to Indiana. Now you're going to the transfer portal to transfer to Indiana? That's your chosen school. What is this world coming to as well? Robert also says, is Levitt's brother making him fall? He says, hashtag don't hire relatives. Well, that's the other side of it. There are situations where some teams don't deal with certain agents in the NFL.
Right.
Baseball's kind of the same way.
But that's animosity built up over years.
But that's what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is that there is such a thing when high stakes negotiations goes on where you end up hating a guy. And sometimes agents screw you up on that side as well, right? We see that in baseball. Jordan Montgomery fired his agent after having to settle for the Cardinals or for the Diamondbacks. Fired his high-powered agent at that point. They can screw things up and make things more difficult.
Yeah.
I've told you guys this story. I know somebody that's kid played for the Yankees, played for the Mariners, was a pitcher. But when draft time come, man, that first year he was eligible for the draft. Dad was asking a little too much. So everybody was passing on him. Then it finally got to the point where it's like, no, you just go back to school one more year.
Right.
And we'll redo it next year. Next year, asking a lot. They kind of had to give in a little bit because they didn't have any eligibility left. He had to go pro, right? Type of things. It is a real thing that happens, and that's the other side of it. But they're getting professional advice as well.
I would hope so, but the thing is, if what you said is true, going rate for a quarterback is $1 to $4 million.
Yeah.
He's asking for more than that, coming off a season in which he missed half of it.
Yeah. And an injury that nobody even knows about. There's some question marks.
Somebody said he had
around.
surgery?
He did have surgery.
Am I giving you $5 million based on 2 years ago? No. Answer is no.
I mean, people are calling Kenny Dillingham and saying, hey, tell us about this kid. You don't have to necessarily bash him, but you can go, hey, he does extracurricular stuff against our wishes and got hurt. Or didn't do what we asked him to do when he got hurt, even if it was on the football. Didn't do what we asked him to do, and it never healed itself, and he never got better. Though you could say stuff like that that's truthful and make it look like you're a diva and you're not going to pay attention to people and stuff. Are you gonna pay that much as a school or put your job on the line,
Right.
bringing a kid in that you're unsure if his mindset's in the right spots?
Well, if LSU, if he doesn't commit to LSU,
Just Texas Tech passed on him, man.
yeah,
Texas Tech knows him more intimately than LSU does.
yeah,
That tells me a lot.
and they moved on quickly. So that's what kind of makes you go. Did he go to them and say, I want $5 million? I said, absolutely not. We can get this guy for $2.5 million.
Kentucky. Did Kentucky end up signing that extra kid? Or is Kentucky still looking? I get confused because you see so many erroneous stuff out there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Kentucky, if they really wanted him, you pay that money if you're Kentucky, right? As a new coach there, you're trying to rebuild stuff. You want to make a splash. It's just, I find it weird, man, that he's just sitting out there
Yep.
with all these guys. How do you not have a plan? This is my bigger issue. You're going through all of this stuff. He's been injured. It leaked in October, November that he was going to go in the portal and his brother denied it. Agents are talking at that point to teams and everything. How do you not have something set up
Right.
before this becomes knowledgeable out there?
Well, again, not like his brother's had 15 clients and been through this for 10 years. And
Who was the guy that became an agent? He was a rapper, and then he became an agent, and he repped Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams had one of the best known NFL, Troy Aikman's agent, I forget his name now, had him. Ricky Williams did, and then Ricky Williams leaves him for some rapper guy who just decides to become an agent. Remember that boneheaded contract with no guaranteed money and all of that stuff?
yeah.
People make decisions, man. That's all I'm going to say from that side. Also, Robert says the names are easy to pronounce. Should be Bain or Reese. Just if you take an offensive tackle at 3, as they're the Cardinals, that's just going to be disgusting. Even if he's an all-pro professional deal. Let's say he's Joe Thomas reincarnated. Doesn't mean you're going to win, folks. if you follow the Browns' history at all. Yeah, don't you? I don't know. I would also build on the defensive side. I said I thought Michael Bidwell was quite impressive in that press interview yesterday. He at least came off as a guy that understands its wins and losses and stuff to that effect. Like I said, he made a big blunder talking about the fans. We'll talk about that, like I said, when Bruce comes in. But I think Bruce is coming in. No seeing. He's probably stuck in traffic, right? On top of it. But then the other thing is Monty, on the other hand, did not come off as good as I thought he would.
Okay. I have to tell you, I only read some of the quotes. I did not actually.
Well, I listened to it on the
them.
radio first, is what I did, and then I went back and watched it later on as well. But it's yeah. I've told you guys, I already don't have faith that Monty makes the right decisions in these draft choices with this stuff and everything. Now, you can learn as you go. And it's not, hey, you can't, it's not like he's drafted a bunch of guys that had injury problems in college. He's drafting guys that didn't miss any college for injuries.
Right.
And then they're getting injured before going into camp. I don't know if you can do anything on that. That's just bad luck, right?
To me, what's fascinating is you bring up the training staff, the weight staff, those kind of things, because to have your 2 number 1 pick defensive tackles miss extended time
before training camp even starts, they have these injuries.
With the same injury.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing you go out there in the first preseason game or first couple practices and you pull it. Okay, didn't stretch right, whatever. It happens. Before training camp.
Right.
They don't even step on a training camp field before getting hurt. It's alarming to see as well. So here's Yahoo Sports talking about the vacancies. Here's what they specifically say about the Arizona Cardinals here. They say the Cardinals, as we all know, lost 14 of the last 15 games. Injuries impacted their season, but not that much. It was simply a bad football team. And what's the main selling point? General Manager Monty Ossenfort will stay, and this era of GMs and coaches coming in a package deal, that might not be a positive. Kyler Murray's time with Arizona seems to be over, but even if he returns, that's not a great thing either. There's no quarterback. The team's best player's a tight end. The defense was bottom 6 in points and yards allowed, and the franchise has just one playoff appearance since the 2015 season. It says maybe the possibility of drafting a quarterback 3rd overall will be appealing, but it's not like this is a great quarterback class. Arizona has been a dead-end job for many years, and there's not much reason to believe that will change soon. Boy, that's a glowing report. By the way, the worst, Yahoo has them all. Everybody has them ranked last or second to last.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yahoo has them last.
Oh, below the Raiders?
Below the Raiders. They actually have the Raiders as 3.
Really? Because you get to live in Vegas? I mean, what's so good about the Raiders?
Tom Brady.
Okay.
Tom Brady is in charge of hiring this coach. Tom Brady's involved in this process. And I don't know why. I don't know what makes you think Tom Brady is going to be able to elevate this deal. But Tom Brady is the reason why everybody's high on this Raiders job.
Is he going to be better than John Elway?
You have so many question marks. You need a quarterback. You need linemen to help your running back out, right? You need receivers there. Your defense is getting worse because Max Crosby is going to force his way out. He doesn't want to be there anymore. He's tired of all the nonsense.
But the other thing I was reading about the Raiders is the fact that if they trade, they're not to the salary cap floor for next year.
Yes.
And so if they trade him,
it's going to be even worse.
That means they're going to be signing Steve McCollum to a multi-year deal.
Hey, I'm game for that. I can do that. Here's the interesting thing about Max Crosby that I was reading also. He has outside business interests with Tom Brady. You're not leaving that situation if you're tied to the hip with Tom Brady outside of the football field, are you?
Well, you can still be business partners and play in Tampa.
Until Tom Brady kicks your butt to the sideline, says, "You're not my partner no more. You backhanded me."
You know what? And you asked earlier about the surprise. I kind of forgot. Todd Bowles has been on the hot seat.
Yeah, I know. Would he be a surprise with the way they finished this year?
Yes, he would.
Well, because he wasn't on it until they started losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked they're keeping him, to be honest with you.
Well, it's only 48 hours.
That's the thing. The surprise comes, what, a week or so later?
Yeah,
is
at
usually
least 3 or 4
when
days.
the surprise
yeah.
comes there. Well, let's see here. I'm just looking at, Eberflus and Green Bay might be a surprise still. That'll be a big surprise. They're done this weekend. You could see Eberflus get blown out after this weekend.
Not
I'm not Eberflus. I'm sorry. His name's on in front of my camera. Green Bay's head coach, LaFleur, Matt LaFleur.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's on the hot seat. And I'm not going to lie to you. That'd be who I want here in Arizona. Okay, first of all, Stefanski, where did the Gannon Pensing tree come from? It's all Cleveland-based. Why? Second of all, okay, he has 2 Coach of the Year awards. Yes, he took the Browns to the playoffs one year, but it's been pretty terrible. Eberflus, I mean, not even, gosh, I keep saying Eberflus because I got to get him off my screen here. Stefanski is a good coach, I think, but if you're Arizona and you're floundering, you're not bringing in a guy that floundered in another bad city, right?
Unless you think that your organization's better.
Well,
And,
are you?
And I was going to say, the record doesn't say so much.
So he's kind of like, no, I'll have to pass on him going to that point. Pete Carroll's too old, stuff like that. But LaFleur becomes available. Yeah, make those phone calls every day of the week because he's got a lot of downside. LaFleur does. He's got a lot of issues.
Got a lot of issues.
But it's better that whole offensive scheme there with Jordan Love and all that stuff. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you got to hire a coach that has experience, don't you?
Well, I think you need a coach that's had head coaching experience. I think you need a coach that's more familiar with the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I read before last week of season, very, very, very weak year for head coaching candidates.
This is the problem. The Cardinals have picked the wrong year to need a coaching switch, and they've picked a bad year to need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Isn't that just a typical Cardinals thing to do?
Meanwhile, no coach, no quarterback. These ticket prices are up.
Yeah, 40%. We'll get into all that coming up as well, but we'll take our break here in this hour. Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here. Woo-wee. Main event. Second hour coming up here. Just a little bit. Having some fun here talking some Levitt updates there. Of course, Cardinals. Big news yesterday with Coach Gannon being let go yesterday. We have some clips coming up for you here on that press conference here in the second hour. As well, some ASU getting some wide receivers in the transfer portal, which is kind of fun to see. Look, Hines Ward is making a name as a wide receiver coach here as well. And why wouldn't you want to come play for him? Then you see what the offense can do for you with Jordan Tyson out there. So making some big waves, getting a big kid from Villanova to come in as your running back. And I'm interested in the running back side because, of course, you got Raleek Brown in the transfer portal. You got Udo back in the transfer portal, came from Army. Never really got a shot here. I don't know if it was injuries, if he didn't fit in. I don't know what the situation was with that. So I'm interested to see how they integrate some running backs as they come in on that side. Don't forget, you can text us, 623-252-6670. You can hit us up at TME Sports Show as well on X there as well. Autumn says, I'm so glad Gannon is gone and that Monty's mom is safe. That's all Autumn cares about. Autumn just wants to see his mom next year again. Sitting there. Pressure's on Monty, though, to make some moves to improve this team because they made a lot of improvements, quote unquote, improvements on this team in last offseason and failed miserably. So now it's on Monty. And interesting enough, the media asking the questions yesterday, Dale, as Dale's back with us as well. A lot of the questions were about roster construction and stuff, which did shock the heck out of me. Yesterday, the media was talking about that with Monty sitting there.
I gotta tell you, when you're in a shop by yourself, you don't look so bad. But then when I come on,
hey Kobe, go back to the one shot on me.
I'll just talk. You just
yeah,
have the
exactly.
one shot.
Just leave it on me. Moving forward. The other thing is, I don't know what's going on with this shirt. Look at this right here. I don't know what's up with this. Like, why is it all wrinkled there all of a sudden? Like, it won't. Why wouldn't it flatten out?
Because all your muscles.
Damn. Look at that.
No, it's gonna be fascinating. And what just chaps my rear end is, it's 2 days after the season. We're already talking mock drafts. We're talking head coaching candidates. We're talking, whatever else is going on. It's like, we got 3 months to talk about this.
But I mean, you got to talk about it Monday and Tuesday because Wednesday the focus, at least nationally, turns to playoffs this weekend.
Yeah, locally we don't have to worry about that.
What are you talking about? There's some good games coming up this weekend. Robert says at TME Sports Show, it's not just the Cardinals, it's an Arizona thing. The Diamondbacks with Upton and Swanson, Suns with Ayton, along with the Cardinals, Murray, for instance, have not hit home runs with the number 1 pick. I'll put it this way. Somebody should research this. How many number 1 picks actually become number 1 picks?
Like superstars.
Superstars. You don't have to go Super Bowl wins and so. Josh Allen was number 1. No, Josh Allen was not number 1. He was like 10.
No, from that.
But how many number ones
Wyoming
actually make it to where they're like Hall of Fame guys and stuff to that effect is the question. I'm willing to bet you very few compared to what you think they are. But it's kind of like Marvin Harrison Jr. is the 4th pick. You expect him to catch footballs at a minimum.
A top 10 pick, you expect them to be a Pro Bowl candidate.
It's and he was asked yesterday about why you have no Pro Bowl. Man, Teo Mackey is an amazing. He's going to lose his breath. This man, he doesn't stop asking these questions.
Oh,
he flat out said no, roster construction. No, I don't remember if I kept that question or not yesterday. The clips we're going to play, but he says no roster construction, no Pro Bowl players in your drafts. And Monty's like,
Yeah, you'd like to have one bell cow.
Yeah. No, but if you're picking it goes farther than the top 10 to me. If you're picking in the first round, you're getting a kid that should make a contribution in year 1. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a starter if you're picking 20th, 21st. Doesn't mean they come in and they're a starter in a shutdown corner at that point or whatever they are. But they're making an impact in your first year. Second round after, okay, maybe special teams, maybe a guy that goes in, on certain points in games, you have structures for him. But if you're drafting in the first round, especially top 10, probably top 15, those guys should get substantial playing time their first year. That's how I feel about it. They need to be special guys.
Well, the last 2 number 1 picks would have gotten playing time for the Cardinals.
Yeah, but injuries.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Injuries happen. Like, you can blame, the Cardinals need to blame their training staff. Whatever was happening with the injuries is that. But like I said yesterday, you don't get absolved from that because you pick your training staff.
It's going to be fascinating to see if they do make changes there and start pointing some fingers over on that side of the building.
I'm looking up here really quick last year because I am drawing a blank here. Last year's NFL draft.
Yeah.
Cam Ward was number one. But, he's playing for the Titans, not making it there. He does good, but, playing for the Titans, rookie year, not quite there. For him. The problem is also most of your number ones are quarterbacks.
Well, and they go to bad franchises.
And they go to bad teams.
And if they go to bad franchises, that means they usually have bad coaches.
2024 was Caleb Williams. Jury's still out on him. He's a good quarterback.
I don't know. I think the jury's rendered a verdict. With the right coach.
Well, isn't that any quarterback, though?
Well,
I would argue that's any quarterback.
Well, we pointed that out all through the season. Was it Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Hey, he saw ghosts in New York. Literally caught on a mic saying, I'm seeing ghosts out there. And now he's won 27 games in 2 years.
Baker's another example.
Yes.
You want to just throw two right there, just off the top of our heads that have had good careers once they get coaching staffs that figure them out.
They're talking about the former Giants quarterback who went to Indianapolis this year before he got hurt.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was having a heck of a year.
Yeah, and he had that one first year was really good with the running game and then downhill from that. So I would argue that with any quarterback. And that's why I think when you need a quarterback, you need a new head coach. Like, even if you're 10 years, like, look at Tomlin. He's struggled since Roethlisberger retired.
Yeah, they have not got a quarterback.
They haven't had a quarterback. Yeah. So I feel like if you
Pittsburgh's one of those teams, they're always in purgatory. They're 9-8,
That's
9-8, and so they're picking
first round of the playoff and lose,
yeah.
so you're just stuck there. You don't suck enough. That's why even if Tomlin loses this weekend, and he's not going to get fired, it's going to be a mutual decision, or he's going to resign. He's going to go in the broadcast booth for a year, rejuvenate, and then come back out. Harbaugh on the other, I saw people saying Harbaugh gets fired. I want him here. I'm talking John.
Yeah.
No. That is my worst nightmare. And Daboll and John Harbaugh are my worst two nightmares. If they're here as Cardinals coaches next year, I'm not kidding you. We are renting buses, and we are becoming Chargers fans. And we are going to every LA Chargers home game.
I wouldn't be against Daboll offensive coordinator, Harbaugh special teams coach.
Well, that I'll get behind. Head coach, though? No. I've seen too much. Daboll's problem is you go from unemotional statue Jonathan Gannon to can't control his temper Daboll on the sideline. And I need something in the middle. Let's go with something in the middle. Bruce Cooper's here when he comes back. When we come back.
He made it?
He made it. Traffic must be bad as well, right? But I don't know. That's my point on the draft picks. Number 1 pick, number 3 pick, number 8 pick. Doesn't matter. A lot of teams pick them back. Not just an Arizona thing. Happens a lot.
But it's too much in Arizona.
Yeah, I like one to hit eventually, right? Come on back, folks. Second hour with Bruce Cooper coming up next. And we're back here, second hour main event. Of course, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, 17-year NFL veteran. Del Hellestrae's over here. And then the local legend himself. 37 years, 34 years with Channel 12 as the sports director. Remind me, I'll do it off air, but remind me what I saw at the Sun Bowl. I gotta have a conversation with you about your old station. I noticed something about it. It's not bad. It's just nothing to put out to people.
By the way, Coop, was that the only media job you ever had?
That's the only media job I ever had.
You got that out of ASU?
I got that off the campus of Arizona
really?
State. Yeah.
You know how rare that is?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
Coop's
only
You never want to go
job
national?
I've
You never
ever
wanted to be
had.
a Ron Burgundy and go national?
No, not really. I was good. I was good.
Did you ever have any people come after you and say, "Hey, we want you to move to Chicago"? Or
Well, I've had a few, probably about 3 offers to move. The one that was probably the most intriguing to me was Houston, the NBC affiliate in Houston, KPRC. Pat Tillman had been murdered,
right?
or let's say killed.
Yeah.
Killed. Can't. Let me rephrase that. He had been killed.
Right.
And so naturally, him having played at Arizona State and played with the Arizona Cardinals, it became really a national story because he had turned down millions to go serve his country.
Right.
And so, what I was commissioned to do was do a lot of national live shots. So I went on the rooftop of Channel 12. First of all, I had to put together a story on him, and I sent it out. We sent it out to NBC News Channel, which would disperse it then to all the NBC affiliates in the market. So they didn't necessarily have to have a live shot from me, but they could run that my story, package I've done. Well, there were about 7 stations that wanted me to go live for them, and they'd come to me, do a little QA, I'd intro my package and tag it out. KPRC in Houston was one of those. And so as their anchor team tossed to me, they referenced me as David Cooper. No big deal. I just go ahead and do my thing. And I tossed to my story. And coming out, we do a little little QA. No, excuse me. Out of my story, I'm come out and I'm tagging it out, and I say, live in Phoenix, I'm David Cooper for KPRC. I'm just trying to hook them up because they referenced me as David. And they said, okay, thank you a lot, Bruce.
Then they got it.
Yeah. So I get a call from KPRC.
That impressed them, didn't it?
Well, you know what? It really did. I talked to their assistant news director. He offered me a job over the phone during that phone call.
Really?
Yeah. He said that they were cleaning house. They had too many egos, too much arrogance going in there, and they were looking for someone with my demeanor, that kind of deal like that. And he picked, and so he wanted to know about my contractual status there, and I told him I had just signed a new 3-year deal with 12, and he says, "Hey, at the end of your 3-year deal, I need you to call me. We want to," and I never did, but that was the most intriguing offer I ever had in my 3 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably impressed them. I didn't think about the ego side because if you don't know, folks, there's egos abound in this business. I ran into it a little bit. At the Sun Bowl, and I was just like, dude, get a life, buddy. You're not that important, man. But it is amazing how that works, and I mean, you've told me stories about other people locally that with the egos between the newscasters and stuff, and those aren't stories, folks. Those movies are real. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, you could have been in Houston. Wow.
Could have.
You're so happy you stay here too.
I most certainly am.
Oh gosh.
I remember one time I had to go to Houston for a corporate thing, and literally I'm sitting there and I'm in the meeting. The air conditioner's just blowing directly on me, and I'm still sweating. Like 1,000 degrees humidity there, and I'm just like, why do you guys live here?
Yeah.
And of course they're going, why do you live in Phoenix? It's so hot there, and I'm like, it's nothing like this.
You're right. There's a huge difference. I tell people all the time, look, I'm not going to fake the funk. I mean, it is hot as heck in Arizona. Right. I said, but there's a huge difference between that wet heat you're dealing with down there and the dry heat.
I say our air conditioner works, man. You get in the car, once your air conditioner cools down, you're like comfortable. till you open that door again. There, you're just hot all the time.
Houston,
And-
Dallas Houston's a little
so.
worse than Dallas, but
That's a lot
I know
worse
when
than
I golfed in summertime in Dallas, you need 8 golf clubs. Even when it's 110 out here, you're fine with one just because of that humidity.
And now your daughter lives in Houston.
Yeah,
so
she
yeah,
does.
now it's fate. It's fate.
I
right
can't.
there.
I can't get. Oh yeah, the best thing about Houston is Papados. Hey.
Oh,
Yeah. Which Papados? Because they have Mexican.
Well, they do. It's the
seafood.
seafood. It's
Yeah.
the seafood.
Is that one still open? You guys drive over
On
you
I-17,
drive over-
sure it is.
Is it still open?
Yeah, it is.
It's the only one we got here, right?
It
It's
is.
seafood of all.
We
things.
need one in the East Valley.
yeah.
Right. So Coop joins us on Tuesdays
Well,
here. And,
Yeah, but before you go into anything,
Oh.
so Coop, really nothing's happened since the last time we talked, has it?
No, I was.
last
I was just lamenting that myself. I said, God, we need some change around here.
Hey, did how the Utah Mammoths doing? How about we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
your hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't talk about it. How about that committee that they formed here with all these heavyweights
Yeah,
in the
to
valley
bring the Coyotes
to bring
back.
the Coyotes
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
How's that working
I
out?
think that's an absolute joke. That's just an ego thing for people to put on their resume, right, and stuff. But it just could you imagine being a billionaire owner, which you're going to have to be to bring the Coyotes back?
Well, first of all, you got to build an arena.
Well, that's the thing.
Stadium,
But then
yeah.
these guys are like, we're gonna find a space for an arena. Well, what if the billionaire owner doesn't like that space for the arena, or he's got land someplace else he wants it built? Like, these aren't things that are, it's not like you and me going, hey, we need help to buy it. We're gonna buy it. We're gonna put our money together. Bruce is gonna put in a couple mil. I'm gonna put in, what's in my couch cushion.
Your $5.7 bill.
And then and then it's like, oh, wherever you guys build the stadium, we're okay with. Like billionaires tend to not act that way. And I just think it's kind of funny that I don't know. I'm not.
All right, I didn't mean to talk 5 minutes about the
No,
Utah
I
Mammoths.
just have to get it off my chest. It's a joke. This whole thing's a joke, though. That trying to do that. And if you're an owner and you want to own an NHL franchise, something tells me the corporate office of the NHL has your number. So I'm just gonna put it that way. But yeah, well, first of all, I got to know this: did you survive your wife's friend's New Year's Eve party? Did you have more fun there, or did I have more fun in El Paso, Texas?
You had more fun in El Paso, Texas. Trust me. You had more fun in El Paso, Texas.
I was asleep by 8:30. That's all I know.
Yeah, I wish. Well, I can't say I wish I were asleep by that time, but yeah, no,
Did you make it to midnight, Coop?
I did.
You did.
I did.
So did
I
he.
did. I did. Dale got wild after that chocolate milk out there.
Yeah. We went and saw Frank Caliendo at the Improv, and that
Nice.
got our night started. So it was fun. But we did make it 12:30. Which,
I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. We got done with the game. We went to dinner downtown El Paso, a great Mexican place there. That took forever. They closed at 8, and we were leaving as they were closing up. So we probably got done
closed-
around
oh,
8. Well,
closed
because it's
at
New
8,
Year's
yeah.
Eve. So we were walking out there, kind of closing up. So it was close to 8, then drove back to the hotel, was watching the end of that Miami, which I found, Miami kind of blew them out, so it wasn't that great. And I didn't even catch the end of that game. I was passed out in the hotel room by then.
Wow.
Kids were watching Stranger Things. Dale doesn't know what that is.
No.
You don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
The Netflix thing was a final episode. They released the final episode on New Year's Eve, so that was
Okay.
the big thing, and all of that. So I don't know. We can compete on who had more fun there, but
Trust me, you had more fun.
obviously the big news here is Cardinals moving on from Jonathan Gannon. So let's start there. We'll talk Cardinal or Sun Devils at the bowl game, and we'll talk. Arizona not showing up to the.
how about them vaunted Mustangs, Coop?
Oh my
How
God!
about them Mustangs?
I'm watching that game. It's 24-0
You
at
were
halftime.
watching that?
I did, and I thought it was going to look like it's going to finish 48-0.
Yes,
it
I
did.
mean,
It did.
And I just can't believe how SMU allowed the Wildcats to get back in the
Yeah,
game
but-
just based on their stupidity.
Yeah,
I mean, their play
it
calling
still,
was.
it was only 24-12 until that last touchdown.
No,
So it wasn't
but
like they got back into it.
here's the deal: they're driving down the field, they're running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wildcats have no.
Couldn't stop.
Yeah,
Answer.
and then they get down in the red zone. Now they want to throw 3 straight incompletions or a tip pass for an interception. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But hey, it's all good.
Yeah, but hey,
did.
you like those SMU uniforms, don't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I do like that blue. I do like the
It
colors.
is.
Like
It is
Yeah.
pretty blue. I do like it.
It looks a lot better when you're winning 10 and 11 games.
But I like the old San Diego Chargers blue better than the SMU
you
blue.
like baby blue, huh?
I do,
I
I
can't
do.
stand
Okay.
that. Nothing says we're tough like running out with baby blue uniforms.
No,
By the way, I feel
that
the same
looks
way
cool.
about orange.
That looks cool.
Like the
You know,
Broncos
look when you look across professional sports, the landscape of professional sports, regardless. I mean, red is a very, very popular color, and you see it way too much. I mean, even the Diamondbacks changed
When
from
they
their
changed.
purple and teal to red.
Right.
You know, and so you see that. You see the navy blues. It's stuff like I like that Chargers. They just look the old school Chargers. They
Yeah.
just look different.
Okay.
And then they had yellow at one point too.
They did.
Ooh.
Gold.
Oh, is it gold?
It
Is
was
that what it is?
gold.
Gold.
It was
Excuse me.
gold.
It looks
Yeah.
banana yellow on
Yeah.
my television. That's all I know. But the big news yesterday: Jonathan Gannon surprisingly fired, and we're trying to debate this. Is he the surprise firing this year? Because I say LaFleur's on the hot seat. If he loses this weekend for Green Bay, he could be out.
Surprising. You know, look.
But is Gannon the surprise? Well, the surprise because of the media.
Yeah, what was surprising about it to me is that all the rhetoric leading into
That's
this
what I'm getting
game
at.
this weekend was that his job was safe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Right.
And so, I mean, look, I'm even reading this from John Weinfuss. Weinfuss. You know, he's like the
Josh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
Josh,
I read
Josh.
that thing.
Yeah.
We spent 30 minutes yesterday talking about what he put out there, all the national stuff, and then
Yeah.
end of the show, right as we're going off air, we stayed on a little bit because they announced he's fired. And it's like, you never see it happen this way.
Yeah, I mean, all the local media, in addition to the national, I mean, it was that he was safe, and so I was blown away when I heard that he was fired. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's against everything I've heard,
And-
but it's the right move,
Yeah.
but it goes against everything that I've said.
But here's the interesting thing. I mean, you worked in media for a long time. You know how this works. You're not going and saying somebody's safe unless you're being told somebody's safe.
Right,
And it's somebody within the organization. It's not your feeling. It's not something else. It's not a player. It's somebody's feeding that information to you, especially on a national level.
Well, here's what helped me to believe that anyway. After the Steelers Ravens game, 12 News comes on with their locker room show,
Right.
and there's video of Michael Bidwell. It looks like he seeks him out.
Yeah.
He walks
No,
directly
he's
to.
that was before the game.
No, okay, regardless.
No,
I mean,
he was talking to Monty and somebody else, and he just walks off and meanders and finds him. Yeah.
He finds Jonathan Gannon, hugs him, and they get a little dap up, stuff like that.
The Falcons owner hugged Raheem Morris after his press conference.
Well,
for that
I'm going to tell you
game, too,
something.
so.
For my 34 years, I mean, I've covered so many Cardinal games, and Michael Bidwell, he doesn't do that.
He does not. He is,
I mean,
he's a guy
look,
that when he
he-
makes a decision, he shuts you out.
Yeah.
That's what some of those lawsuits
Well,
are about.
yeah. And so here's the deal. He's on the field home or away
Yeah.
before every game.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see him just for 17 weeks walk up and do that. And let alone this is week 17 or really technically 18 because there's 18 weeks to play 17. That's just not something that he normally does.
I've seen at home games where Monty will be standing by himself. Michael will walk over to Monty and say, "Oh," and then they separate.
they just start
again.
talking,
But
absolutely.
then they separate again.
yeah, but
But to go to a coach, it's an unusual thing, and that's where I was like, all
Is
right,
that
well, I
like
guess he is safe.
the mafia family come over and give him a hug? And
Yeah,
get his-
Have you- before you slice his
I
head
mean,
off.
you'll see him even when he addresses the opposing teams, maybe ownership or their front office people, or maybe even a former coach. He goes. They just shake hands.
Right.
They don't embrace like that and then follow up. I mean, it just
They
looked
hugged him
like
twice. He hugged him when
Yeah.
he first got there. They were talking, did the dab thing again, and then hugged him again, and then he walked.
Yeah, and so it just looked like to me is like, wow, okay. When they were asking, I know you played the clips here last week. Well, Jonathan, do you think you'll be here? Yeah. Well, why do you think I'll be here? Well, I have confidence in myself.
Have you ever heard a coach who's on the hot seat be as emphatic that they're staying as Jonathan Gannon was?
No.
No. Stefanski knew he was probably getting fired. Go watch those press conferences. Stefanski was like, hey, we're just trying to get through this game.
Absolutely.
We'll move on with their lives. They sidestep it. Jonathan Gannon just flat out looked at you and goes, I'm saying, even Sunday after the game, hey, are you nervous in the next 24 hours? Nothing's changed, guys. I feel the same way as I felt yesterday. I'm going to be here. I'm got to coach this team differently. He was talking like he's in the off season already with changes coming and all of that stuff. It's the weirdest firing I've ever seen in my life, and I still can't wrap my head around it. And then I saw the press conference yesterday, which we have a few clips from it. And then it just Michael Bidwell saying, well, it comes down to wins and losses, which is what it should come down to.
Sure, absolutely.
And I'm just like, oh, my God. I expected Michael Bidwell to, like, jump through hoops on why he did. And he just comes out matter-of-factly, and Michael Bidwell looked yesterday like an owner that's like, hey, we're not winning enough. We have to make this move because of that.
Yeah.
And leading up to it, you're like, oh, my God, he's going to keep him? How's he going to justify this, the fan base, et cetera? And then Michael Bidwell comes off as a normal human dude yesterday, and I was just like, I can't wrap my head around this. This is so weird.
Yeah, I remember after you playing clips, and I'm like, man, if you don't know by now that you don't want this guy, I mean, what does the game against the Rams going to prove?
Going 5-13 after being 6-4 last year before the bye, and what was it 5-18 or something, 5-19? Since that time, that alone is the reason you should be fired.
Well, and I think there's a couple other things that jump into this. And Michael, I think he has some of those clips. But when he starts looking around the league, and guys that were hired in the same hiring cycle as Jonathan, or later, meaning have less time, they're playing this weekend. And the Cardinals seem further away today than they did last year at this time.
Yesterday, he didn't talk about not being able to compete, Michael Bidwell, with his division mates. He specifically referenced guys that were hired same time or afterwards are playing this weekend, and we are not.
Yeah.
And that's what shocked me more than anything. It's because in my eyes, if you're not competitive in your division, you should get fired anyway, just from that. Because that's the big thing.
Well, you know, the thing that stood out to me, what I heard, because I didn't listen to the whole press conference, I heard like excerpts from it. The thing that stood out to me the most is that, you know, he's talking to the fans. I hear your frustration. Yeah. I hear you.
So did
I'm frustrated
Browns owner
too.
use the same phrasing. I found that interesting. Browns owner used the same phrase. Fans are frustrated. I'm more frustrated. So 2 owners now have come out and said that when they fired their coaches after bad seasons. I found that fascinating yesterday.
Yeah. And to domino behind that, you know, he talked about, you know, results matter.
Yeah.
And so that now brings me to the quarterback situation. Look, he mentioned that we've only won 1 game since week 2 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
That's a quote from Bidwell.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
September 14th or whatever.
And if results matter, you know, the Cardinals lost more games under Brissett in 12 games than they did in Kyler Murray in 5.
I gave the stat yesterday. It's something ridiculous. Cardinals are like 12-17. The numbers I gave them yesterday, I don't have it in front of me. Cardinals are like 12-17 with Kyler Murray. And they're like 1 in whatever without him.
Right.
It's way worse
Well,
without
check this out. Gannon's first year with the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray missed the first 9 weeks because he was recovering from that ACL.
Right.
When he returned, there were 7 games left. The Cardinals won 3 of those 7 games. They went 3-4. They finished 4-13 overall. But 3 of those 4 wins came with Kyler Murray. So that led you a lot of optimism going into last season, in which they actually won 8. They were 8-9, but they were 6-4 after the break. So you had all this optimism about Kyler. And again, look, I'm going to come out and say it like it is. The Cardinals, in their first 5 weeks, they should have been 5-0. I mean, those tough, I mean, some of the play calling, I just felt that it just drove me crazy. I mean, I just talked about the SMU game. I mean, the Cardinals played it too conservatively in these games, and now they left it for the other team to make the last play. Man, put the game. You have the ball with play calling. You have a chance to put it away. But you didn't. You played too conservatively, gave the ball back to the other team, and for 3 consecutive weeks, they made the play, or the field goal, at the end, the plays to get them win. And so I'm like, wow, this season could have gone a lot differently if the coaching staff was more aggressive, if they were more progressive.
Well, that's my argument. That's why I said it yesterday. I finally let my true feelings. I hate Jonathan Gannon. Like, I've learned to hate
I
him.
wouldn't go that far.
I know, and the reason, and I'm not talking about off the field. I'm talking about as a football coach.
Okay.
Just his refusal to make changes, his refusal that his system works. It was just disgusting to watch all year, and it just every time he talks, it got to the point where I listened to his press conferences 2-3 hours after they happened because I couldn't listen to him right after a game because they just disgust me. And it just, if anything, Jonathan Gannon learns from this is you have to be able to adapt.
Well, you know what?
I think he's just too rigid of a guy. He needs to be able to be flexible. He refuses to be flexible.
Well, you know what? And I hear you there because that's part of what
hated it.
that's
I hated
part of what
everything about
really teed me off during this 5-game losing streak in which they lost by the last second. I mean, it's okay. Cardinals, why are you so concerned? Why you? And then in the press conferences, when he's asked about it, you know what he said?
I'm
He
happy
said,
with the way it
"I'd
went."
make the same play again. I make the same call again."
Yeah.
I mean that, dude.
There's no
Dude.
issues with the offensive coordinator. He
Dude.
say that VP. There's nothing wrong with play calling. I sign off on the play.
And-
That's when you sign your death warrant.
Yeah, and so then you want to go pass it off on, the narrative becomes it's a quarterback. The Cardinals haven't had a chance. They didn't have a chance to pick their own quarterback.
Yeah.
What the heck does that mean? Pick your own quarterback.
And
Let
he
me
had
t-
a chance.
Yeah,
When he
well-
got here, he picked Kyler Murray and said, he's my guy.
Well, let me tell you something. I can think of coaches like Mike McCarthy, who inherited some guy named Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there are coaches around the league that Ben Johnson, did he inherit Caleb Williams?
Yep, he's stuck with him.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
for at least a year.
You-
He's going to be stuck with him forever.
Well, you look, they're a playoff team
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
But my point is, if he had a chance to come in and pick his own quarterback 3 years ago, because Kyler wasn't even available,
Yeah.
who's that quarterback you picking?
Yeah.
Who you picking?
Yeah. And that's the issue. I got that, and then the injury stuff where everybody, Jonathan Gannon deserves to stay because of the injuries, but Petzing and Drew Rawlings don't.
Hey, let me tell you something. 2023 was the year the Cardinals hired Austin Fort and he hired Gannon. They already knew.
Tempered to hire him.
Yeah, well, they already knew Kyler Murray wasn't available.
Yes.
They had the 3rd pick overall in the draft. They have a chance to pick their own guy.
Yes.
But what did they do? They traded down to number 12 with Houston, and Houston selected some guy named Will Anderson, who's a Pro Bowler and one of the best pass rushing guys. The Cardinals then traded back up to 6 and drafted some guy named Paris Johnson when my guy, Bijan Robinson, is still on the clock. Now, here it is again. They have the number 3 overall pick. Now, it's no way they should go out and use that pick or try to trade up and get a quarterback. You're not going to give up more capital to try to get to the Raiders pick at number 1 overall.
No, because the Raiders need someone.
They need,
so they're not,
yeah. And you're not even trying to go at number 2.
Because the Jets.
So what I would do if the Cardinals, and my draft's already completed, I would definitely trade down. But I'm not trading out of that top 10. I want to pick Jeremiah Love, the running back, but I also want to get a second round pick in this year's draft. That's why I'm looking to trade down.
Dale did the mock draft, ESPN mock draft. Where was Love going? I don't remember. Do you
Like
remember?
7,
Something
6
like
on
Okay.
the ESPN. But Coop, number 1, it's less than 48 hours at the last game. The draft ain't till the end of April, and I hate talking about the freaking
But
draft.
it's an important decision for this new
the
coaching
thing.
staff that's coming in. This new coaching staff is going to be asked.
I'll argue it's even more important for Monty to get this.
It is. Well, that's a good point. But this new coach is going to be asked. He should be asked, who do you want as your quarterback?
right.
We have Kyler Murray. We can trade Murray. You have Jacoby Brissett. But here's my position. I've already played.
Slovis, don't
Keep
slay
on
Slovis.
He's under contract.
and I'm not going to forget him because let me tell you something. To me, I'm bringing back Kyler Murray because if you look at the results, you look at what the Cardinals are with him, their record, which is sub 500, but he's 38, 48, and 1 overall.
Right.
And you look at what it is when he's not there. It is egregious.
You get the right guy in here that can make Kyler Murray work. Right?
Exactly.
Okay,
And
so who-
and his best numbers, look, his numbers
Cliff.
regressed under Petzing because you know what Petzing did, and it goes to your point about Gannon not changing things.
Mm-hmm.
They took this square peg
Yes.
and they tried to fit it in a square hole because Petzing came with his playbook.
Yes.
And he says, "I'll be damned if I'm going to change my playbook.
Right.
You're going to have to adapt to my playbook."
Cliff,
Now,
Kyler's best years were with Cliff.
absolutely. Now the quarterback more tailored to Petzing's system is Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
Okay, but if you go back before Kyler got hurt, that team again. I hate to keep mentioning they were 7-0, 10-2, but it makes a difference when you put playmakers around this guy. He's a playmaker that needs to get it to more playmakers.
Yeah. But tell me this, because we're talking about who do you want to be that? It's real now.
Okay.
You know, it's not like we're sitting here last week. Hey, if Gannon gets fired, if this, if that, Gannon's gone. Who do you want to be the head coach? Who is that guy?
Okay, and I don't.
the big question
and
for you.
I never do anything and just say that guy. But let me tell you something. I looked at the list that the media has out there right now.
Stefanski, Dable.
Brian Flores in there, and I'm like, dude, Brian Flores is that high up? Look, Brian Flores was interviewed last hiring cycle, and you know what he did? He pulled his name out and took the Vikings defensive coordinator's job. Right. He took his name out of the running to be a head coach, and so it left me asking myself this question: is the Cardinals' head coaching job that undesirable?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. You're ranking them,
and so I've already said on this station here before. I've already given you my. I'm going for Steve Spagnuolo. Yeah. I've said that from day one.
They say he's going to be a hot guy.
And I gave you that for a reason because I said, look, Cardinals' last 3 head coaches, they were first-time head coaches.
Yes, you need
and so
guy.
The last time they had an experienced guy, even though it was his first time as a head coach, even though he had an interim spot in Indianapolis, was Bruce Arians. And last time I checked, Bruce Arians had Cardinals that close to going to a Super Bowl.
Right.
No risk it, no biscuit. Here's a guy that you weren't going to say, Gannon, why don't you be more aggressive? I mean, he took risk. That was his culture. That was his mantra, and everybody bought into it. Now, Steve Spagnuolo, he's been a head coach before. He's been an interim head coach before. He was a head coach with the Rams, his last head coaching job. Now, for the last 9-10 years, he's been in Kansas City as their defensive coordinator. I mean, he has seen the best of the Chiefs offensively with Patrick Mahomes, and then when they lose Tyreek Hill and things change, now they became more of a defensive team in which, I hate to call Mahomes a manager because he's anything but a game manager, but the defense was actually the cornerstones of those Super Bowl teams.
The last couple, yeah.
Yeah, last couple. And so I'm taking this guy because he brings experience. Because look, you want to keep all options open. But when I look around and I see people are looking at LaFleur as as a guy because he's Sean McVay's offensive coordinator, I'm like, come on, dude. We've seen this act before. Bill Belichick. How many people off history have turned to be successful? It doesn't mean a darn thing because someone's successful his underling or his assistants are going to be likewise. But I will take someone who has shown me something from an experience standpoint, and he's hungry to come back a second time. I do believe this, because some of these coaches, Bill Belichick included, their second time around, that's when they hit the jackpot.
My problem with a defensive guy is you need offensive help on this
team. And look,
that's my only problem.
And here's the deal. Who says that a defensive coach cannot hire an offensive assistant?
Which is what Jonathan Gannon could do.
Why couldn't he bring in an assistant with Kansas City
the reason
that already knows their system?
When Matt LaFleur loses this weekend and gets fired in Green Bay.
I like him.
The reason why I like him the most is Green Bay's not an easy place to play. They don't sign big-name free agents. They don't generally trade for big-name guys like they did this year, and obviously with Cowboys guys and stuff to that effect. He does more with less and gets them into the playoffs in a tough division there with the odds against him to do so with the way the Packers operate. And the Cardinals don't operate like a normal NFL team. And they don't throw money at it like the Rams do. They don't do what the Seahawks are doing. So you have a guy that has proven he can get you to the playoffs in a tough division, which the Cardinals are in, and do it with less in terms of what he's got there. And I think that's what I like about him the most.
But he inherited some guy named Aaron Rodgers as well. See, if you go back,
but now he's got Jordan Love.
No,
Gotta
but
take that
that's
away.
my whole point. If you go back and you follow the history of the Packers, Brett Favre was there forever.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers was there forever. They drafted Love, and Love is a guy that when Aaron Rodgers saw that, he got a little distant, got a little teed off.
Yes.
I think that led to his exit.
But then it was still 6 years before he was exited.
But
Yeah.
they have developed Love.
Yeah.
To the point to where it's like,
agree.
again, how do the Packers always hit it on even their backup, Malik Willis,
Yes.
who was a colossal bust
Well,
as a first-round
This
pick in
is
Tennessee?
issue number 2. You get LaFleur if he's fired this weekend, which I believe he will be if they lose, and I think they're going to lose. You got Malik Willis there. He likes him as the head coach. Hey, Malik.
Well, look, I'm okay with that. I keep saying this on this very show. I love the dual threat quarterbacks, and Malik is that guy.
I'm not saying he's the answer for the next 20 years, but can he be a Darnold in like Seattle? Type of a player to come in here for 4 or 5 years?
Here's the deal. See, when Darnold was in Minnesota, he had something there that he didn't have in New York. He had arguably, and I don't know who's the best to this day. Is it Justin Jefferson? Is it Jamar Chase? One of those dudes are the best wide receiver in this game, and they have a solid number 2 in Jordan Addison, and so he had
coaching
right, and the coach is Stefanski, yeah. But he had playmakers that he didn't have, and so they won. So now he goes to Seattle. Well, he has a playmaker in Jigma, but they also have a nice running game with Walker and Charbonneau.
And a really good defense.
And that's my whole point. That keeps him in these games. It's almost like the Philadelphia Eagles. See, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl last year. I mean, he also lost one, okay, to the Kansas City Chiefs. But it's their defense that keeps them going and then keeps them long enough to where he can make that 1 or 2 drives a game that wins a game.
Well,
they don't have that here with the Arizona Cardinals.
No, but
they
that's where
just
you gotta
don't have
build
any of
it.
that on either side of the ball.
Yes.
And so I'm saying if you at least, and that's why I start on the offensive side of the ball. If the games are, if I'm losing 42-40, if I'm losing 35-33, it's a lot better than what I'm seeing right now.
Well, Cowboys don't agree with that.
Well, they don't. But for the Cardinals, that would be a step up.
I think you got to build on the defensive side.
No.
You have talent on your offense, and you need an offensive coach that can get Marvin Harrison Jr. to catch again.
I think the Cardinals have some talent on the defensive side of the ball. I really do. But here's the problem. They don't have it in the right places. I mean, Budda Baker has been their best defensive player. He's on the back
putting
end.
Josh Sweat as a guy that covers guys downfield this year.
Absolutely. And so you need someone up front because Dale knows this. Having played, this cover the game. If you can run the ball and stop the run,
I played.
You are going to be successful.
Yeah.
And so the Cardinals can't stop the run, and they can't even rush the passer without a myriad of blitzes.
Yes. Yeah. All I'll say on this, on the head coach, it needs to be an experienced head coach. Period. End of story.
I do like
enough
like
of these
LaFleur.
new coaches, the young guys that are up and coming. Enough of this garbage. Get the right coach that's going to come in here, and it's got to be the right attitude. Bruce Arians was too much. It's my way or the highway with the ownership. That's a little too rough. It needs to be somebody that can come in, work with Monty directly and say, this is what I need to be successful. Go get me this guy. Go get me this guy. And that's what they need here, period, end of story. And if it's anybody but an experienced guy with that attitude, they're making the wrong choices again. And I do worry about it because yesterday when we come back here, we'll get the clips here. I got 3 of them for us. But the big thing was yesterday was Michael Bidwell was specifically asked, are you willing to pay high dollars for a coach? And he goes, well, I'm not going to negotiate that right now with you guys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it tells you he might go cheap
I didn't hear
again,
that.
too.
I didn't hear
he
that.
might go cheap. I don't have that clip, but he did say that at one point, which I went, uh-oh. Come on back, folks. We'll keep it rolling here with these Bidwell clips from yesterday, Monty clips, and so much more. Come on back, guys, with the great Bruce Cooper. If I can say it. And we're back here. Main event, second hour here with Bruce Cooper here on Tuesdays, talking Cardinals and their decision to move on from Jonathan Gannon. Like I said, it's just, to me, it's the most, even today I woke up and was like, did that really happen? It's the most weird firing I've ever seen in my life. Anything. And I've been in a lot of firings in the corporate world and in other places. I've never seen one so confusing as this. Then Michael Bidwell did make one mistake yesterday, and we'll get this out of the way. The big mistake, besides that contract situation, was he was at, I left the question in. It might be hard to hear because it's from the media and stuff like that. But he was asked about how he caters. The perception is he's catering to the rich fans, and he wants the rich fans with all the casitas.
Oh, they asked him
all
that?
of that stuff. The media was brutal yesterday.
Whoa.
The Arizona media is changing, and it's led by Teo Mackey as well. And that kid is an amazing question. He's going to lose his credential if he keeps asking questions.
Dale knows about that.
All right. But he was asked about catering to the rich. Listen to what Michael Bidwell justifies on how he disagrees catering to the rich. I left the question in, Bidwell, on catering to the rich.
Michael, part of the frustration with the fan experience is the perception that you guys are catering to the rich fans, right? With the seats and the ticket prices and the casitas and all that. What can you say to the everyday fan, the rank and file fan?
I'm not sure I totally agree with that. I think that we have done a lot of things to enhance the stadium. Food selection at the stadium. We've now got, I think, over a dozen different local brands inside the stadium. We have enhanced the Wi-Fi, which is everybody has access to. The video boards, the game day experience, the game day entertainment, all the enhancements outside the stadium, the upgrades that you guys may not see in the concessions. We just rebranded all the concessions, every concession stand. So I think when you look at the stadium, we have put investment into all areas of the stadium for all our fans, and we want to be as inclusive for all of our fans that they have the ability to come and enjoy live NFL football at State Farm Stadium. And we're going to continue to make those investments. We every year make investments into State Farm Stadium. We're very proud of those investments. And there are opportunities where we have made some substantial investments I'm not sure we get complete credit for in the terrace level and other areas that are accessible to all fans.
Then how do you justify the price hikes this year?
Well, the price hikes, I think, comparatively to the rest of the National Football League, we're still I believe, below the average of NFL pricing for game tickets.
But it's gone up significantly faster than the rate of inflation, and it's hitting fans in their wallets. Does that not concern you?
Well, we try to take that in.
Yeah. It's an amazing line of questioning there from them. Just attacking him. By the way, at the end there, he just says, for that last question. But the same thing, generalizations. His big specific was Wi-Fi, and we upgraded the thing. Oh, by the way, they charge more for the food there as well. That there were these upgrades. It's just that's what I felt his big miscue was yesterday. Michael Bidwell needs to get out of his throne up there in the top of Camelback Mountain. Get out with the common folks. Get out of his private jet that he flies. He needs to go to the grocery store and buy some potatoes and some bananas and just mingle with the common fan out there, because that dude has no presence. If he thinks those are the enhancements that we want as a fan base, you're living in just a dream world.
Yeah, look, Mike, these owners, when they travel city to city,
they
stadium
see the
to
other stadium, they get tours.
Absolutely. And they get ideas, and they want to come back, and they want that. They find out, even at their owners' meetings, they'll talk about it.
Well, if you don't know, just if you don't know, the NFL owners share. If you buy a regular ticket for the lower level or upper level, that gets shared throughout the NFL. The premium seats get kept by the specific owner. So that's why Jerry Jones has so many premium level seats.
Right. And so
because he gets to keep it all. Same thing with Bidwell.
And so that's what led to them blowing out that the south end zone,
Yeah,
and
with
they
the
put it all with casitas.
They did it at the 50-yard line last year. They made it where most of the seats were empty most of this year.
Absolutely.
They got those seats that cost $12,000 a game, Bruce.
Yeah.
When they were trying to sell me on it. And the end zone there, most of those are empty most of the games.
And look, I'm all for capitalism. Michael has, used State Farm Stadium, was formerly University of Phoenix Stadium, to his benefit, his gain. He's not like that family owned business when his dad,
he hired if you don't know, he hired a guy that came in, and his job was to make it not a family-owned business. I was flat out told this by the Cardinals last year when I was trying to decide if I was going to re-sign up or not. We aren't a family business anymore. We have a guy here that's making us more a professional billion. We're going to start acting like a $1 billion organization.
Right.
That's what I was told when they asked me for more money and took away all my benefits.
Well, it is true. I've seen the growth of the Bidwell family, because back in the day, and Dale knows this anyway, Mr. Bidwell would wait until he got that TV check to sign his first round pick.
Yes.
His first round picks were always coming in.
They weren't coming out of their pocket.
Right. And so as this organization has grown in terms of wealth, I'll give Michael all credit in the world. He has turned it back in to investing in that stadium and into the organization. But it took him forever to figure out that, hey, man, all of this negative vibe that comes out on these surveys about my organization relative to training facilities, the strength and conditioning coaches,
stuff,
all those, that has to change. And so I give him credit, because I guess in 2028 is now he's going to put up that state of the art facility.
It takes a few years to build.
And stuff like. But he's investing. He's investing in that, and he's now become wealthy. So I have no problem with that. But he has to answer better than that.
That's terrible.
That's
a terrible answer for no. He couldn't give specifics. Look what we've done at the terrace level. All fans can visit the terrace level. Like, what? What have you done? We got 10 local food things. Great, but you charge more for them.
Yeah. And
Where's the nachos for $10?
Granted, he is true about this. The Cardinals' average price for a Cardinals ticket is on the low end of the league, and so that much is true. But I mean, he has to have a better answer, because it comes off.
That told me there he's out of touch with his regular fan base.
Yeah.
I gave you better Wi-Fi. Congratulations.
Well, and at the end of the day, guys, let's be real here. If the Cardinals were 14-3 and they had a bye this weekend,
we wouldn't be complaining.
Nobody would care about it.
They would have signed up with that 40% price increase in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and here's the deal. And see that for the ticket price for the ticket owner who says, I'm not going to re-up because of this, they do this. Look, that's your choice.
Most of them
that's your choice. It's not like anyone's holding a gun to your head and making you do it. It's your choice. The Cardinals, when they are on, great entertainment. But the problem is they haven't been on too often over the last 2 years.
It's changed the way we go to games. Like, we'll eat before we get to the stadium now.
Sure.
Now on our level, we get these really nice nachos for like $20. That's affordable because 2 people can eat for that, right? But I take my kids; they want chicken fingers. I'm out $100 to eat, right?
Yeah.
So we try to eat before we get there. So we've changed our habits going to the game and stuff like that because of that. So, and I get it, right? It's expensive. I understand why they charge that much and things. But it's just in a year like this, it's just a bad thing.
Yeah.
And that answer was grotesque.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we get on to what really happened yesterday?
What happened there?
Well, the media was pretty rough here on roster construction. So I'm going to start off first. I'm going to leave the question in here. Bidwell answers first. So here's the question specifically. Basically, it's why is the coaching staff taking the blame for roster construction and not the GM? It's basically the gist of these questions here. So here's Michael answering this question first.
Roster construction. Why was it roster construction and not why was it coaching and not roster construction, please? You made the decision to move on from Jonathan, right? But a lot of us are looking around and saying, well, the roster, maybe it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Why is it on Jonathan and not Monty?
It comes down to wins and losses, and there were several games in which we had a chance to win those games when injuries weren't as much of a factor, and we didn't win them. You guys witnessed those same games. I think, again, the person that can impact the wins, and you look across, again, those teams that are in the playoffs with new coaches that have turned those franchises around fast and their fortunes on the field. We just felt like when you look at how much we had regressed this year, we felt like the best option for us was to go in a different direction with the head coach.
A lot of his questions, a lot of his answers were like that. And when it comes to why move on from Gannon, that was a tough question that they generally don't get asked.
And
I think that was Tyler Drake, by the way.
No, it sounded like Greg Moore.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
who
that
I
might have been
thought
Greg.
it was.
Okay,
I
I'm
think it was
sorry.
Greg Moore.
You're right, that one might have been Greg.
Yeah,
Moore.
and
I apologize.
And look, I'm hearing some of these questions, and it's like, wow. I mean,
This was the most hostile
it
press
was-
conference I've seen the
Yeah,
Cardinals.
and look, I thought Michael handled that beautifully. The questions beautifully, and they were on point. Look, these teams that are in the playoffs this year that were in the top 10 of the draft last year because they had pitiful records, they kept the same GM.
Yeah.
They just brought in a new coach, and so he makes that point,
Right.
and he also
I like this point there on, hey, early in the season, we were
Right.
losing games. We
Right.
should be winning.
Yeah.
right and
Before injuries hit us up here. And that was a
Well,
concern for him.
I always go back to the DeMarcado thing. And if he doesn't drop that ball a half yard short, because I said it when it happened, I said, this is the kind of thing that can affect a season. I've seen it happen before. Now, I didn't expect it to be what actually happened. But I'm with you. I don't know if they should have been 5-0, at least 4-1. They at least 4-1. And where do you go from there versus losing those 3 games in heartbreaking fashion? What changes happen then? It's fascinating to me.
Well,
yeah,
well,
go ahead.
I agree with you, Dale, because even the interception that you drop and bungle and allow the Titans to recover for a score and allow them to kick an onside kick, if you win that game, you're 3-2. I think that the season comes out a lot differently than it did if the way it turned out,
happened,
the way it happened. I really do. I don't think the Kyler Murray situation manifests itself if they win
Right.
that game.
I mean, I just saw here from yesterday, Josh Weinfirst pulls this up, and he says the numbers were stacked against Gannon, but the Cardinals roster this season was awful, and that's out of his control. Players consistently told me that the culture he created was real and different from what's been in Arizona with past regimes. And this is what fascinates me is before the injuries happened, this Cardinals team was good. They were just losing games late, like they didn't know how to win or lose. And then the injuries happened and it went sideways. And that's when I think the roster got sideways on everybody as you get into 4th deep, 5th deep, and guys up players, off the practice squad and off the couch type of a deal. But he changed the culture, which I find fascinating. He changed the culture to a professional culture. And I think that's what we liked about him going into this year. His lack of change and his lack of accountability, I think, is what rubbed everybody the wrong way.
Wait, you know what resonated with me when I saw a post from Kyler Murray, to
Yesterday?
Gannon? Yeah. I mean,
Well, it was a pleasure or something.
Yeah. I mean, he talked about him being a great, appreciated him as a man and as a coach.
I was reading that he met with the players at 10 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and he said he's, from what the recounting has been from multiple sources, who obviously talked to players, was that he stood up there, told them this is part of adversity you deal with in life. This is what we've talked about all year, adjusting to the adversity and moving on and stuff. And the players respected him for that when he left out of there. I think that's where you got the players saying, I don't want to see Jonathan Gannon go, because he brought that mentality. It's just he didn't do the others.
But I was conflicted upon reading that post from Kyler and then hearing some of the players in the locker room, talk, give their testimony or give their favor for Gannon, because Dale said it on this very show. He said when players say that, it's because they've gotten comfortable.
With it.
They don't want to be pushed any harder.
I mean, nothing.
And so
was
I was really
changed,
conflicted with that.
Yeah. I know that's why it's so weird. I don't think, and you've been in this business a long time. I've watched sports for a long time, and then of course been covering it, since 2018 or so, like in depth covering it and stuff to that effect. But this is just the weirdest, confounding situation. Like Jonathan Gannon shouldn't be going out this way, but his lack of control and stuff. But then Monty was asked the same question, similar. I left the question here as well on the roster construction. Now this is pointed directly to Monty, folks. Here's Monty talking about the same thing Bidwell just talked about.
For Monty, you said earlier, you flipped the roster, you think it's a talented roster, but when you look at it, there's not many positions where you guys are significantly above average. You have not acquired a Pro Bowler in your 3 seasons. What is it specifically about this roster when you look at it that you do feel like it's above average and capable of competing in 2026?
Wow.
Look at their faces.
Yeah, I mean, Teo, I guess I would
That's
push back. I mean, I don't like. What are we talking? Are we talking PFF grades? Like, I know everybody likes to live and die on those, and I get that. But
Washington and 3 and 14, and
I get that, and that's accurate. Like, with the wins have not been there, but I would say that the number of young players that we've had that are contributing, the number of players that are on rookie contracts, the guys that have impacted the game and are getting opportunities, are going to get more opportunities at premium positions. We have a young core group of players that we didn't have 3 years ago, and we have guys that are made of the right things and are going to have more opportunities moving forward. So I know that there's always going to be, how come this guy hasn't made the Pro Bowl? And I understand that, but the bottom line is we have to win more games, and so we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to develop our young players. We're going to, unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, however you look at it, we're going to have another opportunity to add players with a high draft pick this year. We'll pick at the top of each round, and so we're going to continue to add to this roster and continue to put the right type of people on this team, and we're going to continue that process with finding a head coach to put us in a good position for 2026.
You guys watch Michael Bidwell during that whole conversation?
Dude.
That does not look like a guy that's happy. He's keeping him as a
Hey,
GM.
let me tell you something. I want to give,
The media yesterday was brutal.
yeah,
The most brutal I've ever seen.
they did not shy away from the tough questions.
Right.
They pinned it on the Cardinals' ownership and general manager.
The
And-
press conference was more about the roster construction, Monty's role in it, Michael's role in it, than it was how JG failed, which is weird for a press conference on the firing of a coach.
Wow, interesting. Well, I will say this, that Monty Ossenfort, I know he talked about the lack of Pro Bowlers. I will say this, Josh Sweat should be a Pro Bowler.
He should.
I mean, he should
That's
have made
so
that.
disappointing.
But that's been his look. Outside of Mack and Sweat, I mean, he's failed miserably in the free agent pool. He's done that 3 years now. Yeah. Outside of Paris Johnson, and now we see what Michael Wilson can do. I mean, he's failed with his draft choices.
But I think
There's no ifs, ands, or buts
Michael
about it.
Wilson, for me, goes more to the coaching side. That
that's a good point.
They were missing that. He drafted the right guy. The coaching staff couldn't figure out how to get Michael Wilson involved. Even after he shined and Marvin Harrison came back, then Wilson disappeared again.
Yeah.
So that to me is more on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
But that was a good draft pick. It looks like it's a
The
good
other
draft
thing
pick
about
moving
Pro
forward.
Bowlers is the more you win, the more you get talked about, the more you get voted to Pro Bowls. That's like a popularity contest. Teams that only
that's why
win 3
Buddha gets
games, that the guys don't even look at you.
That's why Buddha got in. He's been a Pro Bowler. He had a terrible year.
Yeah, he did.
And he still gets in just because his name
Yeah.
is Buddha
Right.
Baker.
You're
He's been,
right.
Josh Sweat's not at that level. Kind of like what we talk about with Booker, right, in the NBA side. He just hasn't crossed that threshold where he's a perennial all-star, even though he probably
Hey,
should be.
since you mentioned Booker, did you guys watch the Suns game last night?
Yes. I got it.
Okay. And
Got a big question
did
for you on this.
Did you catch Kevin Durant's comments afterwards?
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, Kobe, play those for me. if he's got him, I had to email him to him because I had to pull him out there. Yes, Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. After the game, Kevin Durant hits the big shot to get the lead there after not playing well, quite frankly.
shit.
And then after the game, Kevin Durant says this.
Most definitely, you know what I'm saying? A place that I didn't want to leave, and my first time being, I don't want to sound too dramatic, but I will, to be kicked out of a place, you know what I'm saying? And felt like that, I've been scapegoated, you know what I'm saying, for the issues we had as a team last year. Yeah, it felt good to beat them and hit a game-winning shot, but that's all it is. It's not just for the moment. You know, it's something tomorrow I won't even think about. You know, so it was a fun game. Like I said, of course, yeah, I felt you play with a little chip on your shoulder against your former team, especially when they trade.
He's always the victim, isn't he? Though let's just start with that. He's always the victim.
Can we go give him a hug?
I know, right?
Hey,
Poor guy. He's making $40-50 million a year, and we don't love him.
His time in Phoenix, validated what his critics say about him. He doesn't elevate his teammates.
Right.
He's a great scorer, a great player, but he doesn't elevate players around him.
Mm-hmm.
So that became crystal clear in Phoenix.
Yeah.
All right. Now he's back in Houston. It's almost like he's been back with Golden State. He has other stars around him that can cover and for the deficiencies that he has as a player that can elevate others around him. He's got some athletic players. He's got some length there, and then he's got other guys that can make those.
They're the tallest team in the league.
Yeah. And so his season is going pretty well right now.
Yeah.
And Houston, I think they are very much a viable team in terms of being a championship contender. I think they could come out of the West and represent the West in the championship finals. I think that's how good their roster is. But Kevin Durant as a player, I didn't buy into it until this, to his critics, didn't buy into that until I saw it firsthand myself. I saw this man, and we saw it last night too. The Suns knew if we go and pressure this man up high, he's a turnover waiting to happen. He doesn't pass well out of double teams. And so he was 1 of 11 from three-point land last night until he hit the game winner.
Couple things about last night, though, that were interesting to me. First of all, did you hear about their day yesterday after playing?
It was brutal. It was
playing
brutal.
the night
They
before.
I know they flew in the morning of, but
flight delays.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, they didn't get in until a couple hours for the game. So it was a mess.
And then you had the time clock issue.
But then it was
and you're playing the second game of a back-to-back. And so for them to do what they did, I mean, look, I'm watching the game, and I just thought Booker was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially at the end.
Yeah. You're doing too much, man. There's other guys. Hit Dylan Brooks. Hit Colin Gillespie. They are expecting you to take that last second shot. Yeah. They are concentrating everything. Someone's got to be open.
Well,
Royce's air ball and then Booker's air ball.
And what scares me when Devin goes into that mode, that's late teens Devin Booker, when there's nobody else on the team and he dribble and then throw up a shot. I saw that too much. He's got teammates now.
Yeah.
Okay, and but you can also see, hey, I want to show Durant what he's missing, whatever. But the last thing about this, I don't remember Kevin Durant getting kicked out of Phoenix.
Well, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. He's always the
I don't remember Kevin Durant getting kicked out.
If you remember the story, Kevin Durant wanted to be here in Phoenix and finish his career. And then they went and they, behind his back, tried to trade him to Golden State at the trade deadline last year, and that changed everything. Yeah, in Kevin's mind, he got kicked out of that point.
Well, he's using that as they made him the scapegoat for the best.
In Kevin's mind, that made the team not want him anymore and kicked him out. And that's in his mind, that's where his mind goes.
Well, he's a superstar that just doesn't elevate the players around him. Yeah. He doesn't make them better. That became crystal clear. And so I don't blame the Suns for going after him. But there's a lot of Suns fans that blame Ishbia for even decimating the Suns roster to go bring in this aging superstar.
Yeah, but I was of the when I go back, revisionist history, you don't get an opportunity to get a Durant.
It was the right move. The bad move was the Beal move. Yeah. That was the one that.
Yeah. I'd love to see the Suns without Beal and having Durant and draft picks and whoever else that they would have.
Well, regardless of what you say on it, and Kevin Durant's got to come to terms with this. Whether it was him, whether it was Beal, whether it was Booker, they didn't play well together these last couple of years. And you got to take blame for that, Kevin Durant. You just do. No, and it's not bad. You're in a better spot. The Suns are in a better spot. Quit being the victim, Tiger.
I'm not sure. I don't recall the players that had this podcast that made this ridiculous
Yes.
notion of trading Austin Reeves to the Suns for Dylan
Yeah, I
Brooks.
know. That's-
And they
that's
had,
a-
and here's the deal: they had the audacity to say, who wouldn't want to do that? And then one guy, I think it was maybe Parsons, said, well, I don't know if the Lakers would want to. Are you high? I mean, come on, stop it. And I loved how Matt
Ishbia
Ishbia
yesterday.
reached out and
Well, it got to the point where NBA shows on ESPN were starting to talk about trade possibilities for Brooks to the Lakers.
You
and
know-
if Matt Ishbia, this would be like ASU letting Kenny Dillingham leave. You would see an uproar from the fan base if you tried Brooks anywhere right now. He's a fan favorite. You'd have an uproar beyond belief.
These NBA players said Dylan Brooks would change the culture.
Well, he would.
Dude, you have Luka Doncic. You have LeBron James.
Yeah,
What
but
the heck?
he would either get LeBron to play or LeBron to quit. And either one, you're going to improve the Lakers.
But either way, why is it that the league, and I think the Knicks are in the same category, that you think that the Lakers and the Knicks can just grocery shop for their players
Yeah.
off other teams, and it's okay. I
Hey,
mean, stop it.
Real quick, I'm going to change the subject. Cliff Kingsbury has left the Washington
Yeah,
Redskins,
I told
Washington Commanders.
Isn't that amazing? I said that yesterday. He's
Really?
a favorite to be a head coach again this year. He's up there. And how do you hire a guy to be a head coach when his team wants to unload him?
So
Well, I don't know that the Commanders are looking to unload him.
Yes.
Well,
he was rumored to be out.
Well, both offensive and defensive coordinator for the Commanders are
Well,
out.
I think the Commanders are making a huge mistake there because let me tell you something. Jaden Daniels came in as a rookie.
Yep. Rookie of the year.
No. I mean,
Offensive rookie.
not only was he offensive rookie of the year, this dude's name was in the conversation for league MVP.
Mm-hmm.
This dude had his team in the NFC Championship game. You don't hear me. They played the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Now, coming into year 2, look,
Injuries galore.
Jaden Daniels, of the 17 games, he may have played 5. He's been hurt all year.
yeah.
That's not on Cliff Kingsbury.
But that offense has still done some good thing. My question is
I thought
Cliff-
Mariota played well.
yeah,
And-
Mariota played well.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember all offseason, Torrey McLaren. We got to sign Torrey McLaren. He's going to sit out. Oh no, we can't be that and injured in week 2 or whatever it was. But no, I think Cliff's taking the rap. I do agree with you. Washington's making a bad mistake here, but that also hurts Cliff's ability to become a head coach. Because how do you hire a guy that just got fired by your team?
Did
it
he
said
quit?
it says that they mutually agree.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
wow!
that's
then
the
there
perception.
are some issues there. I think the Commanders making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Is
I
this
really
your
do.
boy Dan Quinn
Yeah.
causing this stuff here?
Again, it's
Is he hard
the
to play
wording
for?
was the defensive coordinator got fired,
Well, he took. I don't remember the exact, but he started taking play calling away from him or something.
and then the
during this
offensive
year, so-
coordinator they mutually parted
Yeah,
with.
it's fascinating to me. I think Cliff.
Dan Quinn took play calling away from Cliff.
He made no from the defensive guy.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
defensive
okay.
Coordinator had a tough year in the eyes of your head coaches. Which is what baffles me about. Well, really quick about the Sun Bowl. Kenny Dillingham, speaking of coaches making changes, took play calling away from Marcus Arroyo, who struggled this year at play calling. And that all. Did you see the Sun Bowl? Did you see that offense run up and down the field?
Let me tell you something. He should have did it then in the Territorial Cup because let me tell you something. I was on this show. We were on this show. We both agreed that we wanted to see Cam Dyer. Yeah. But as I'm watching this game unfold, I kept saying, "My goodness, Jeff Sims looked good." His one turnover, I can't even put on him. I thought Derek Eusebio did not run that crossing route. He stopped. And so,
right in front of it. The interception happened right in front of it.
but I'm telling you, if Jason Brown, who played phenomenally,
it's a bad ending for both of those guys.
if he doesn't fumble that because they're going to run out the clock and win the game.
The best part about that, we're in the stands. We stopped them on the 4th down, and Autumn was all like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great!" And I go, "It's not over yet. It's not over yet. They got time." And then he fumbled on it.
After a 11-yard run.
Why did I say that?
After
So
a 10,
mad.
11-yard run on first down.
I haven't been enamored by Arroyo this year. 4th down. A lot of people were saying we don't have Cam. I think you even said that to me. You don't have Cam, so he's struggling to get the red zone down in there. I just felt like it was missing all year long. And to see that move happen and that success, it was kind of a good. But again, another coach. The other thing about that is, I'll tell you, sitting, like 10 rows up right behind the bench, every time Dreyer got up to warm up and throw the ball with Sims and all that stuff, everybody in the crowd got excited. Oh, is Dreyer going in? Is Dreyer going in? Is Dreyer going in? He's a big dude.
Is it really? I have not. You know what?
I was actually surprised.
I need to go back and watch film of him because
he won the championship in New Mexico.
I went and watched Cutter Boley, and I've already seen Jake Fetty. I'm very impressed with Fetty.
It's going to be fascinating this year because Boley's got a chance to win that job. He's going to.
Well, let me tell you something. He sounded like a little bit of Sims. I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio was not good.
Yeah. Well, he's in the SEC though, the best conference ever, right, Dale?
Hey, how many teams from the Big 12 were in the Final Four?
How many in the SEC
One.
are in there after 5 get into the tournament?
Hey, how about this? And then I'm done. I'd like to see more NFL players come out like Quinnen Williams.
Oh, what did he say?
After they let the Eberflus go
today.
So a lot of people kind of put the blame on the coaching all the time. Definitely as players, we've got to take accountability because we're on the field, and like I always say, cover 3 is cover 3. It's been cover 3 for 50 years. Man coverage has been there for 50 years. Cover 2 for 50 years. The players have to execute it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I'm not one of those guys who goes out and says that I'm going to blame the coach for my players' failures. Mm-hmm. I just believe that players are going to be professional in terms of their pride. Mm-hmm. They want to go out and win. They don't want to go out and purposely lose.
Right.
Now, there are coaches who call plays that can impact negatively the outcome,
right.
But there is a 60-minute game in which players can make plays to also influence that game. And so it's one of those things that comes down to the wires. I just talked about on this a few minutes ago how I thought that Gannon and his staff offensively were so conservative in their play calling and not progressive enough that the Cardinals wound up giving the ball to the other team. So, yes, coaching does matter, but Quinnen is absolutely right. Players play. They make the plays or they don't make the plays. Yeah. And the schemes are the same, but a coach can also have a very big influence in what you're doing because I don't know what
Eberflus?
No. Who's our Cardinals DC? I'm losing his name.
Rallis.
Okay, I don't know what Rallis did this year. That was because last year he had a myriad of blitzes. They blitzed a lot to get pressure.
Well, he had
once they acquired Josh Sweat, it seems like he just stopped that. I mean, dude, you kept team. That's one thing that was impressive about me: the aggression, the aggressive play calling, and so. If you're not going to be aggressive and put your players in a position to go make that play, then that's on coaching.
Okay,
I'm not sure what Eberflus did there.
I'm going to bring up 2 things. One, look at the secondary for the Cardinals this year. I mean, you had rookies playing a bunch.
2 cornerbacks, two rookie cornerbacks. Yeah.
Usually, you're a blitzing team. You got to have some confidence in your corners. Pick your poison.
Yeah, but then Max Melton couldn't find the field.
And so you figure that. And the other thing, when you talk about coaches, to me, the biggest influence, I always talk about Jimmy Johnson. Any team I've ever been on, there's around 10 guys who don't care about winning and losing. Care about a paycheck, care about their stats. Okay. Jimmy Johnson, for 5 years, made it so miserable around the Cowboys that those 10 guys wanted to win. So they didn't have to be around the facility the week after a loss. And when you get 53 guys who winning and losing is the thing, a lot of magic can happen.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because it seems to me that when Austin Fort signs his free agents, that they don't even like guys that have never been injured. They all of a sudden that they're always injured.
Amazing.
Guys who made plays at other stops. I mean, I thought Dalvin Tomlinson was a great signing. But my gosh, he was horrible.
Yeah.
What, 1 sack, and it was late in the year, I think?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think it was against the Rams even.
Was it? I don't even remember now. Am I so bad? Well, really quick on the Commanders here, right? I found this interesting. Yeah, so Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury met today to discuss the future of the offense. and then decided to move on. So obviously, Cliff Kingsbury wants to win one side of offense, and Dan Quinn's like, we're not doing that type of a situation. But then two, this came out yesterday, and I saw it. It just reminded me of it. But the Commanders general manager and Dan Quinn got together and they had a press conference yesterday. And in that press conference, the general manager, name's Adam Peters, he said publicly, he told Dan Quinn to tank the final game of the season. And
He said that publicly?
He said it publicly in the press conference yesterday.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, and Dan Quinn's like, I don't quit. We don't play that way here. Yeah, and now today, offensive and defensive coordinators. Dan Quinn has a lot of power in Washington, is all I'm going to say. That's my conclusion right now on this. Dan Quinn is running that show, folks. Which I don't know if that's a good thing. We'll see. We'll have to see on his decisions and stuff like that. So, Coop, appreciate you coming in and joining us.
I'm surprised there's enough to talk about to keep the show alive today.
Well, even more next week. We'll have playoff. Miami going to go all the way to the national championship game or what, Coop?
I think Ole Miss is.
You think Ole Miss is going to get there?
I think Ole Miss will beat
they
Miami.
They just announced that Charlie Weiss will coach Ole Miss this weekend. So that's there. I know a couple of the other underling coaches have left and gone to LSU officially now. But they just announced this morning Charlie Weiss will be here to coach this weekend.
That quarterback Chambliss, I mean, I couldn't believe he was like a Division II guy. Yeah. And he won, and he got the starting nod because the starting quarterback got hurt. Yeah. I mean, this kid, he was phenomenal.
Coop,
it's the first time I've watched it.
The other thing is, I've told Steve, as a former player, if my coach up and left when we're going for a national championship, I'd want to prove to him, worse than anything, we don't need your sorry ass.
They're all going to transfer as soon as they're done.
Yeah, but I'm going to win it this year and then go do whatever I'm going to do next year. But I want to stick it to you. That's just the way I was built.
Like Steve Fisher in Michigan did with Bill Frieden.
Yes. Yeah.
Miami was 3.5-point favorites 2 hours ago. They're 3-point favorites now after the Charlie Weiss news that he's going to be there to coach for Ole Miss.
He's worth half a point, huh?
Well, as of right now, we'll see if it fluctuates more. That game, of course, is Thursday. Oregon or Indiana? Indiana's winning this championship this year.
You think so?
Oh, I don't know how that defense is unbelievable.
Well, I'll say this.
Will Oregon be able to score this weekend?
I'll say this. I watched that during the regular season game, Indiana and Oregon. Yeah. Because I thought, the luster's coming off Indiana. I mean, it was a great game. Went down to the wire, and Oregon failed on a fourth down call. I mean, that's what they do. They go for it like that. They gamble a lot. So I'm looking for another entertaining game.
It'll be entertaining, I think. But I think Indiana's going to play. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink this Ole Miss now that we know the coaching staff. But I like Miami in this game. Miami's just tough. I think they're going to beat up Ole Miss, to be honest with you.
I'm calling for an Ole Miss Oregon final.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll talk about that on next Tuesday.
My favorite quote as we wrap up here, Mendoza was talking, I think yesterday, maybe the day before, on his press conference. And they were asking what's like playing against a good defense. And he goes, I showed up to camp this year. I'm paraphrasing. I've showed up to camp this year, and I'm playing the Indiana defense, and I'm lined up against them. And I'm trying to figure out if I deserve to be on the field because this defense is either really, really good or I suck at what I'm trying to do here. That's what he was saying about the Indiana defense. I'm paraphrasing it, putting some more words into it. But that says something when you show up and you're like, this other side's good or I suck.
I felt that way my rookie year in Buffalo. Our first preseason game was against the '85 Chicago Bears defense. Ooh. And, I mean, we've never seen that defense before. And I remember walking out the field going, if every team is this good, I don't belong here.
Yeah,
I don't belong here. Thank God they're one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, one of the best defenses ever. Appreciate you guys joining us. Bruce will join us again next week. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Transfer portals coming more open for everybody out there and everything. So, Bruce, of course, appreciate it very much. McCollum on Business later on today. Going to be around noon today here on this Tuesday. So come and join us for that. Otherwise, folks, we'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Wednesday, the main event.